Hello and welcome into Earl Warden Field here in Amherst, Massachusetts. I'm Timothy Brown. By my side is Alex Poliak, and we've got a one-game series here between the UMass Minutemen and the Fairfield Stags. The Minutemen currently on a 6-game losing streak dating back into March, into that Rhode Island series. Alex, what do you look at in this one that could potentially help the Minutemen to break that streak?
Well, you mentioned it, Tim, coming off that 6-game losing streak. UMass currently 9-16-1. Their last win coming off that first game in the doubleheader against Rhode Island. Now, if you look at the last couple of games for UMass, it's been a mix. Some of them have been blowouts, some of them have been close games. If you look at that last game, 8-9 loss, close game, came down to the last inning in terms of a comeback for UMass. But you're coming into this game after that Dayton series on last Sunday. You're looking to build some momentum. Again, it's all about building momentum into these next couple games. They got Richmond on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday away. But against Fairfield, this is a tough team. They got to put their heads down and go do the work, because without a good win here, it's going to be hard to build that momentum going forward.
Absolutely, Alex, and you mentioned it, that losing streak here is in the midst of a 9-game homestand for UMass. They're 2-6 at home, playing all 8 in a row so far, this being the 9th to close it out. What would it mean to begin the homestand with a win and end it on a home win?
I think it would just be, it just helped the team, build morale. If you look at the UMass team, they have been pushing their team onwards. They've been yelling from the bench. They want their team to win. Obviously, they want to win at home here at Earl Warden Field. But going on the road for a week or so, this is all about, again, building up their strength, building up their momentum, coming back. Hopefully, it'll be a bit warmer than today when they come back and they'll start winning some games. 2-6 here at Earl Warden. But it should be a great game, and the UMass has what it takes to win these games, Tim.
And as they wet up the field here at Earl Warden, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First of all, for UMass, batting first and playing center field is Anthony Tirado, followed by Brandon Sullivan at second, Jack Beverly playing third, hitting third, Carter Hansen, the right fielder in the 4-hole, Ryan Colbin, the backstop, batting fifth, Mark Willie, the big lefty first baseman, batting sixth. Reese McCarthy at DH. He's hitting over 400 at this point in the season in the few action he's gotten, but he played well late in that Dayton series. Got Sam Hill in left field hitting eighth, and then Jack Peters substituting in at shortstop with Matt Travisano getting a rest day. And UMass has Ben Thomason on the bump, usually a bullpen guy. What can you expect from this UMass pen today, Alex?
Yeah, so, Tim, it's a weekday matchup, which means UMass in the past couple of these weekday matchups do not put out one of their top starting pitchers. It's usually a bullpen day for them. So for Ben Thomas, has not played a lot of roles in terms of starting pitching, but it's all about putting together opportunities for their hitters. UMass has been hitting really well, been getting on base, and it's just these consecutive errors in the field, consecutive misplays that have led to them being behind early and not working back into games. So it's all about getting through the top of the first, and then putting some runs on the board early. They have the hitters to do it. This is the time.
And Alex, as you say that, we'll go over this Fairfield lineup. The Stags, the first in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, 22-8 on the season. UMass, not sure if we mentioned it, 9-16-1 with that tie against Quinnipiac. Not a typical thing in college baseball, but Fairfield dominating the MAAC so far. Their lineup here: Dean Ferreira hitting first, playing third base, Luke Nomura playing shortstop in the 2-hole, Matt Buccello, the right fielder, third, Tyler Kipp, the DH, hitting in the cleanup spot, Sean Meth, the first baseman, in the 5-hole, Nick Storino, the left fielder, hitting sixth, TJ Schmazel, the center fielder, at 7, Nolan Colby, the second baseman, at 8, and Billy Sullivan, the backstop, playing at the 9. And on the mound, they'll have Grant Smeltzer, a guy who picked up his first career win just last week. It'll be interesting to see what we get out of him, Alex.
That's right. Yeah, Schmelzer, again, he was coming off a tough beginning of the season, but again, you said picking up that first win, his last appearance out. And the Fairfield Stags a great team, the top team in the MAAC. Sorry for that. They're a great team. This is not an underdog situation. If anything, it's an underdog situation for UMass because of the Stags being 22-8 in their conference, number 1, and UMass currently sitting at second to last in the A10. It's going to be a pretty competitive matchup, I'd say, and are looking forward to that start here. They're still clearing off and spraying down the field as we speak.
Yeah, spraying down the field. The coaches and umpires have concluded their discussion here at Warden. We're just waiting for the national anthem, and then we'll have this one-game series for you here on 91.1 WMUA, the home fort for Minuteman Sports. And we are back here at Earl Warden Field in Amherst, Massachusetts. Once again, Timothy Brown and Alex Poliak here for the single game series between UMass and Fairfield. Ben Thomason warming up on the bump right now for the Minutemen. Alex, what can we expect to see out of him?
Ben Thomason, on the year, not through 9 2/3 innings, has a 7.45 ERA and a 2.07 WHIP. He's given up 8 earned runs through 9 2/3 innings, but he's a starting pitcher. He's not a starting pitcher. He's a relief pitcher. This will be his first starting appearance. Things can change within a pitcher's perspective when you're going through that bump there.
And now digging in for the first time today, Dean Ferreira, the third baseman, hitting leadoff for the Stags. As we're set for the first pitch here between UMass and Fairfield. That one riding way high, and we're underway. Ball number 1 on Ferreira.
Ferreira, one of Fairfield's most toughest hitters, batting over 400 on the year, 406. He's one very competitive hitter.
That one files in there for strike number 1 as Thomason looks to get settled here in the top of the first.
He's played all 30 of Fairfield's games so far.
That one grounded up the middle infield. Peters on a snag, throws over to Willie at first for out number 1. And a smooth start there for Thomason.
That was a great first at-bat, Tim, and a great play by Peters. Peters has been hurt for the first beginning of the season, but coming back strong, taking over that shortstop area and showing off defensive skills.
Luke Nomura coming up now for the Stags. A Maplewood, New Jersey native, made the All-MAAC second team last year. 7 home runs and 11 doubles on the season as he takes ball 1 there from Thomason.
Yeah. This year, batting around 211 with 303 slugging, 338 OBP.
He flies that one to center field. Torado under it. And he's got it for out number 2.
Great start for the Minutemen today defensively. Getting 2 outs, not going too far into counts are Fairfield, so good start so far.
Yeah, Ben Thomason making very quick work of the Stags so far. 5 pitches, 2 outs. And now he's got Matt Buchero digging in, the right-handed hitter. And he checks, appeal to first, he goes, strike 1. Buchero out of Ridgefield, Connecticut, made the All-MAAC first team last year as he takes strike number 2, 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the first as Thomason continues rolling. That one spiked in the dirt. Script ball number 1 there for the Minutemen.
For the most part, Thompson's been keeping it in the zone, challenging these Stags hitters. Let's see if he can finish off this at-bat, send the bird on first.
That one on the outside part of the plate just barely missed. Evens up the count at 2-2. 2s across the board here in the top of the first.
Deuce is wild, Tim. Deuce is wild.
Thompson's delivery grounded over to short again. Peters, routine play over to Willie, and the Minutemen escape inning number 1 really smoothly.
Yeah, that was a great 1-2-3 inning for the Minutemen. Again, not getting down early and looking for some production from their offense as they try to take down these Stags.
We'll see what the Minutemen bats have here in the bottom of the first when they come up in just a bit. And we're on here for the bottom of the first here between the Minutemen and Stags. Anthony Tirado, the leadoff hitter for UMass, going to be digging in right here against Grant Smeltzer. And Smeltzer has had himself a good bit of stuff to work through. Last season only pitched 2 innings before having Tommy John surgery, and now last Friday picked up his first collegiate win against Sacred Heart. But Tirado grounds that one over on a dive. Sullivan, the play over to first, got him.
That was an amazing play by Sullivan, Tim. It was a ground ball by Tirado that almost split the shortstop in him, but he was diving stop, picks it up in time, and a great throw over to first for that first out.
You have to excuse me, that was Nolan Colby. I was looking at the UMass lineup when I called that out. If only Braden Sullivan can make a play like that.
Oh, he does in his moments.
Now Brandon Sullivan up for the Minutemen at the plate. He squares the bunt, pulls it back for strike number 1.
Yeah, that was a great play by Colby, by my correction, yeah. But Sullivan, also an excellent defender at second base. Looking to get on for the Minutemen here.
Looking to extend his 4-game hitting streak is the Minuteman second baseman, as he takes that one low from Smeltzer.
It's a chilly day here in Earl Orrin Field, about 45 degrees, wind coming out. We're packed behind home plate.
Smeltzer the delivery. That one catches the outside high corner for strike 2. 1-2 on Sullivan with 1 down here in the bottom of the first as the Minutemen try to pick up some kind of momentum with the bats. Smeltzer the fire. That one line towards right field. Ranging over for it is Buchero, and he has it for out number 2.
Some great contact for the Minutemen so far. I mean, not striking out, the hard ground ball by Tirado, and Sullivan, a great hit. He almost split the gap, but just a great play by Buchero, reaching over and getting it in time. UMass making good contact so far.
Absolutely, Alex. Good contact, just not finding the right spaces yet, and that's the cruelty of baseball. You can do everything right, and it's still wrong if that fielder makes a good play. Now for UMass, Jack Beverly, the third baseman, takes ball 1 here with 2 down.
Jack Beverly, UMass's power hitter, 6 home runs on the season. See if he can crank one out right now.
Smeltzer, that one catches the outside part of the plate. He's been working his way through these UMass hitters pretty well. He's been attacking them, Alex.
Yeah. I mean, both pitchers kind of challenging the hitter. The hitter's not working as far.
That one fouled back by Beverly. Puts 2 strikes on him. 1-2 to the UMass third baseman. Smeltzer, that one high above the letters, evens it up at 2-2. Alex, as you like to say, 2's wild.
The deuce is wild, I said. Deuce is wild. Tim, you know, it's it's that time.
That one grounded towards the 6-hole, back pick, unable to be grabbed there by Nomura, and that'll be a single for Beverly, first hit of the game by either team.
Now, great piece of hitting there by Beverly. Did look a bit ginger walking up to first base. He did not seem to be pushing himself on the run, but great piece of hitting by Beverly. We'll see how his legs are doing. It did look like he had a little bit of a limp going forward.
Carter Hansen digging in now for UMass. He's got a 3-game hit streak, but has had just 1 hit in all 3 of those games. A 200 hitter so far through the month of April. And with 2 down, digs into the lefty side of that batter box with Beverly leading off of first. Takes strike 1, dropping in there the off speed from Smeltzer.
Smeltzer having a great year so far. If you look, his ERA is 1.04 with a below 0.81 whip through 17 innings. He's one of Fairfield's most reliable pitchers.
That's impressive, Alex. As Hansen lines that one towards the right side, just barely foul, and he jumps up in frustration. That could have been a first-to-home play if that ball had gotten down in fair play.
Oh, it's a great piece of hitting by Hansen. Well, about close to a little less than a foot between him before hitting that line. I mean, great piece of hitting. I mean, UMass making great contact here, bottom of the first. Let's see if Hansen can put some good wood on it, or I guess metal, because it's college again.
0-2 right now to the UMass right fielder. Smeltzer the fire. That one lined into right field. Drops in the gap between center and right. Hansen going to second, and he'll stand up for a double. Moves Beverly over to third, and UMass 2 ducks on the pond here with 2 down. Bringing the boom is Carter Hansen as the catcher Ryan Colvin comes up.
It was a great piece of hitting by Hansen. Splits Bucero and Smallsy and center and right. And it could have almost been a run if Beverly had made it around third. Again, looking ginger on his legs. Maybe something is up with his running. But Ryan Colvin up to bat now.
2 men in scoring position for the UMass backstop. As pitch 1 there above the head. 1-0 here on Colvin. That one high again. Smeltzer seeming to feel the pressure here with the pair of runners threatening to score.
And again, 2 outs here. Just needs to get Colvin out to get out of this inning. But 2 ducks on the pond right now for the Minutemen.
Third pitch of the at-bat drops in there for strike 1. Great piece of off-speed there from Grant Smeltzer.
Yeah, made Colvin flinch a little bit. Looked like it was a slider or curve that come at him and hit just the inside of the plate. Good piece of pitching.
The 2-1 just outside. Colvin took a half check at it, but a great eye from the UMass catcher. Now a hitter's count. You know you're going to see something in the zone here if you're Colvin. The fire on the 3-1, swing and a miss. Runs the count full here for Colvin. Full count, 2 outs. Beverly leading off third, Hansen on second. First base open right now. Smeltzer to the fire, swing and a miss by Colvin. And Fairfield exits the jam cleanly to make it 0-0 after 1.
Yeah, Smeltzer had a bit of a rough start to it, but came through, challenged Colvin there with the fastball. Twice he did. Both of the 3-1 and the 3-2 pitches were both fastballs challenged him with, and Colvin could not catch up with it. Again, UMass getting some good hitting together. Could not, again, this is a thing, they could not bring them home after getting them on base. But a good start for the Minutemen offensively, and we'll see how they play.
So UMass leaves 2 stranded, looking to pick it back up on defense when we come back for the top of the second. Coming back here for the top of the second between UMass and Fairfield. The Stags leadoff hitter here will be Tyler Kipp, the DH, as Ben Thomason made quick work of Fairfield in that first inning. And Kipp will take ball 1 to start off the second here.
Yeah, Thomason, great 1-2-3 inning there in the first, and hoping to put some more on the board.
That one popped straight up behind.
Come to me. No.
I'm not going to give you a vote of confidence there, Alex. That one was rocketed pretty sky high.
I'll tell you what, Tim. If I had thrown off my headset and ran back there, I think I would have had enough time to get that fly.
Fair enough. It's Thomason, sky strike number 2 on the off speed. 2 of 1 now on Kip.
Kip on the season, the .322 average hitter, OPS of .873.
He fouls that one back again, evens up the count at 2-2.
I would not have a shot at that one. That was a line drive just over the netting.
Well, maybe you brought a glove to games.
What?
Maybe bring a glove to games and, you jump back there for it.
I don't need it.
You don't
I
think
don't
so?
need it. I can play cricket. I can do it. No worries. Baseball's not too hard.
Thomason on the 2-2, that one high above the head of Kip.
I'm not saying baseball hard. The game of baseball is extremely hard. It's more just the baseball itself. It's a little squishy. I mean,
You think so?
I mean, if it's thrown right at you, yeah, it's going to hurt. But, like, there's a way.
So that one low and away puts the first base runner on of the game for the Stags. Tyler Kip drawing the walk to start off the second inning here. As Sean Meth, the first baseman, digs in. Port Washington, New York native, transferred over after 3 years at Trinity College and made 3 straight all-conference teams there. And takes strike number 1 here from Thomason.
Yeah, Meth on the season, a .240 hitter. Has played 24 games out of the 30 for the Stags with a good slugging, .404.
As Thomason misses just low there. Puts the count at 1-1. He steps off to recollect himself.
Obviously, Thomason did not work out of the stretch last inning. It's also a switch in perspective when you come from the stretch, from the windup. Stretch changes perspective a bit.
As that curveball rides high.
I remember when I was pitching back in my Little League days, whenever I moved from the stretch from the windup, sometimes it's coming with him too. The pitches would elevate a bit more for me. It's coming for him as well, Thomason.
Meth ahead 2-1. As that one falls low. Good spot there, just barely a miss from Thomason. 3-1 now on Meth. Pitch sneaks in there for strike 2. So 2 straight full counts for Thomason to start off this second inning. First one ended in a walk.
Nice off-speed curveball, hit the edge of the zone.
Picks over to first. Safe back in is Kip. It's the Fairfield dugout. Hoots and hollers towards him. Thomason, the 3-2, hits the batter. Sean Meth over to first. Tyler Kip up to second. And a rough start to the second frame for Ben Thomason.
Thomason, a little bit of anger at himself, started digging into the mound with his foot after giving up the hit by pitch. Well, yeah, looked like it was a changeup or a slider that just got out of his range. It plunked him, not too hard though, so Meth looking all right.
Skying that one high towards the third baseman, Beverly, is Nick Storino, and will be taken down for out number 1 in the inning. I believe that was Jack Peters ranging over for it.
Yeah, Beverly did not look like he had a good grasp on where the ball was in the air, but great job by Peters to recognize the struggle of his third baseman and back him up, call it off.
TJ Schmalzel, the center fielder, stepping up now. Still runners on first and second for Fairfield as Thomason put away the first batter of the inning on a pop-up to short. It'll miss on ball 1 right there.
Sullivan and Peters in double play depth. Obviously 2 men on here can go for a double play, get out of this inning. Infield is not playing in at all.
So that one sneaks on the high inside corner for strike 1. UMass's bullpen getting active, as we said. Going to be a bullpen game for the Minutemen. The pitch from Thomason popped up towards the center fielder, Tirado. He gets under it, and another routine play for UMass. That puts 2 down in the inning, and that threat seemingly waning away from the Stags.
That was just a simple pop fly. Tirado, a great fielder. I don't know if in the last Dayton series made an excellent catch over the wall. Almost looked like he climbed it over to steal a home run away from the Flyers. Nice routine play there for him to put it 2 away.
Anthony Tirado, absolutely a star in center field. We can count on a flashy play from him almost every game. As Nolan Colby, one of the few left-handed hitters in this Fairfield lineup, digs in and takes ball 1 there as it skips past in front of the backstop, Runners still on first and second here for Fairfield with 2 down. Next pitch from Thomason, rides low.
Thomason needs to get out of this inning. 2-0 now. Count is falling behind to Colby. Needs to put some strikes on the board.
Thompson the fire on the 2-0, gets in there right down the pipe for strike 1.
You also know it's a reliever on the mound, so it's not like he's going to go 4 or 5 innings. He's all about keeping your pitch count low.
So that one puts Colby ahead 3-0 on the low fastball, 3-1.
He's working more of these 3-2 counts with his obviously 3-1 now, but again, more than over 4 pitches. It's going to be his fifth coming right now.
The 3-1 fouled back by Colby. Runs the count full again, so 3-2, 2 outs. Both runners will be taking off. Kip leading off the second. Sean Meth, the first baseman, leading off of first.
Meth knows that position well. He's even he's in the same position as where he plays.
3-2, low inside on the knees, and that'll load the bags here with the second walk of the inning for Thomason.
It's unfortunate that now again, loads the bases. There's still a force and there's 2 outs. There's no need of worry about a sac fly, but it's still worrisome depending on single now potentially scores 2, maybe 3, depending on how fast Colby is at first.
So Billy Sullivan, the catcher, digging in now for Fairfield with 2 outs in the top of the second, and the bag's chock full. Ben Thomason, the first pitch, gets strike number 1.
Sullivan on the year, batting .250. He's only played 11 games so far.
That curveball drops in from the top of the zone, 0-2 on Sullivan. Billy Sullivan, a transfer from Southern Connecticut State, made the All-Northeast 10 team as he swings and misses, foul tip into the mitt, and UMass exits the bases loaded jam with no runs on the board.
Great recovery from Thomason in the UMass defense here, putting away, getting rid of that effort, getting rid of that struggle of with 2 men on, both consecutively for the Minutemen and now for the Stags, but looking to get some runs on the board of the Minutemen now when we come back.
UMass gets 2 clean innings out of Ben Thomason, and now look for the bats to put them ahead in the bottom of the second when we come back. Coming back here for the bottom of the second as UMass takes the mound again. UMass takes up the bats again. Grant Smeltzer taking the mound again for Fairfield as Mark Willie, the lefty hitting first baseman, steps up.
Yeah, Mark Willie coming into this game, batting .258 on the season with a .739 OPS. Pretty good season.
Took strike one to start, now takes a ball away, evens it up at 1-1. Smeltzer, the third pitch of the at-bat, just a tick low, puts Willie up 2-1.
Smeltzer obviously coming off a struggle in the first, was able to get out of it.
That one lined up to center field. Mark Willie with a single to start off the bottom of the second for UMass. And a hard one right there, Alex.
That was a line and a half. It did not. It was almost on the ground, but still went past the infield gravel. And great piece of hitting. Way to get on base for the first batter. No outs, 1 man on.
Reese McCarthy digging in now for UMass. The DH had himself a good close to the series against Dayton as he'll take strike one there in the low part of the zone. McCarthy, part of that great effort for UMass in the series close against the Flyers and that 9-8 loss. It was a heartbreaker, but McCarthy was able to lay down a bunt that was pretty significant in that game and even had a single. And right here has a line single into center field. So station to station goes Willie. And UMass with 2 straight singles to start off this second inning.
And 2 basically identical singles, if you look at it. Willie's single, a little bit lower into center field. This one is more to left field. But still, on similar pitches, made similar contact, and 2 men on base now. And would have been looking to make a statement here in the bottom of the second.
As Sam Hill, the left fielder, digs in here for UMass, had an opportunity in their previous game against Dayton. He was the final batter to get out as he fouls that one back for strike number 1. But Hill grounded out to first base with runners on second and third, and UMass trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Definitely looking to avenge his shortcomings in a big situation there. As he strikes that one to left center field, that one going back, and gone! Sam Hill with a 3-run shot to start off the scoring for the Minutemen.
Number 4, Sam Hill.
I don't even know what to say, Tim. That was gone right from the get-go. Great piece of hitting. Didn't even touch the ivy. Was way over the UMass ivy in left field, left center.
And UMass is calling Sam Hill's phone right now, saying, "Give me 3 runs on the board," and he answered.
I love that.
Number 3, Jack Peters.
UMass early lead now, and great to start it off with some runs. Now they can work on building those off with some more insurance down the road.
Peters squares the bunt right back to the pitcher. Smeltzer over to first for out 1 in the inning.
Yeah, and that was the problem was just I think if he had bunted it down the third base line, he would have a chance to leg it out. But it was right straight to the pitcher at a pretty strong pace. So unfortunate now 1 away, but Torado coming up. He's he often gets on base is what I'll say.
UMass back to the top of the order now with Anthony Tirado, and he'll take ball 1 there. I gotta say, Alex, a good play there from Smeltzer to bear down and calm down the inning after giving up a 3-run shot just previous to Sam Hill. I believe his second home run of the year, as that one gets way outside.
And maybe it's a change in conference, obviously MAAC versus the A10. But Smeltzer, a very good pitcher throughout. Might be these tough conditions that forced him to throw that right down the middle and chalked up to an incredible home run by Hill.
The 2-0 to Tirado right down the middle for a strike. So now 2-1 on the UMass center fielder with one down here in the bottom of the second, and the Minutemen up 3-0. That one struck into left field. It'll be a routine play there for Sereno, and now 2 down for UMass.
A little pop fly. Pretty simple for Sereno right there. I mean, making good contact on the Minutemen. They're not striking out. They're making contact. And that's a problem for Spelcer because more balls in play mean more chances for errors or runs.
Braden Sullivan takes strike one here from Smeltzer with 2 down in the inning.
It's already 5 hits for the Minutemen thus far, only through 2 innings. Well, not even 2 innings.
Well, all coming in this inning, Alex, as Sullivan goes down 0-2 right there. So 0-2, 2 outs on the UMass second baseman.
He was 4 in this inning, 1 last inning because there's a ground ball by Jack Beverly.
That one fouled back, remains 0-2.
I might pick that up later.
You think so? You'd have to go a pretty far away to go pick up the home run ball from Sam Hill.
I think I'd have to take a plane ride, go all the way down to Connecticut. I don't know. To get that ball back.
Smeltzer, the 0-2 pitch, lined into left field for a single by Sullivan. And UMass continues rolling here, even with 2 down in the bottom of the second.
They're just making some great contact, Tim. These are hard hit balls. If there was a stack pass for these balls, they'd be in the hundreds, if not thousands. And even though that's humanly impossible, not for the Minutemen today.
Seems like the Minutemen have been defying all odds on offense so far, Alex. As digging in now is the third baseman, Jack Beverly. His second at-bat of the day. Smeltzer, first pitch, gets in there.
Beverly had a single in this first play appearance in the bottom of the first. Again, I'm going to say it looked ginger running around the bases, but that just might be a factor of the cold, as the pickoff move to first was unsuccessful by Smeltzer.
Alex, I've got to say, there's a lot more pickoffs in college baseball than in the pros. I don't think I've ever noticed that before.
I don't know if there's a limit on disengagements in college, but...
Smeltzer outside on that one. Now the 1-1 on Sullivan. 2 down. Excuse me, 1-1 on Beverly. 2 down, and Sullivan leading off at first.
Smeltzer's ERA has risen to full points. It's 2.37 now.
That one into the other batter's box. 2-1 on Beverly.
Wind is at our backs, Tim. Maybe another reason why the home run went so far, but get it in the air, see where it takes it.
Smeltzer, that one line towards left, edging the line, and it's fair. Jack Beverly going to second, rounding third is Sullivan. He slides into home. Jack Beverly with an RBI double, and UMass has 4 runs here in the bottom of the second.
I tell you, Tim, the Minutemen are smoking the bat. It's a Texas BBQ here in Amherst today. As that was a line drive, just got in fair territory down the left field line, and now a meeting at the mound. Maybe some trouble. I believe there'll be a pitching change, Tim.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Courier, the head coach here for Fairfield, making his way to the bump, and that'll be it today for Grant Smeltzer. So UMass puts up a 4 spot here in the bottom of the second, still 2 down, and we'll see what the Stags come back with to close this inning.
two-run homer by Sam Hill before that. Now Carter Vincent is the batter for UMass. As there's a new guy on the bump here for the Fairfield Stags. 1-1 on Langston now. Matthew Bradman started a excruciating Alex Seymour.
Oh, man. Yeah. Does not seem to be translating to this year. Through 29 innings, has a 4.6 ERA, allowing 15 runs. And Matt Reynolds goes over to Beverly. That was a great piece of hitting by the Minutemen, but Matt Reynolds goes to Beverly, checks on him. Beverly definitely was holding his hamstrings right there. Maybe it's the cold weather, but he was definitely held up and definitely might have made it if a different day and time. But men at the corners right now.
How hard that ball was hit into left field. Gunning the runner down there. Pass. Ryan Hogan at the dish. Still swinging. This is strike number 1 here. It's getting 2 outs. And Hanson leading off first. Beverly on third. Another RBI opportunity for the Minutemen. Already ahead 4-0 here. Bottom of the second. Doesn't get him. Stolen back there for Carter Hanson. The ball was low. 1-2 now on Coleman.
Yeah, and a great piece of stealing. Great piece of stealing by Carter Hanson there. That was the full thievery as the throw from the catcher was not anywhere close. It was a little bit of a ground ball almost. And 2 men on now. 2 ducks in the pond. And that was not even the Bradman's fault, as that ball was just caught in the very tip of the glove of Sullivan, the catcher, and just basically it was a slow putter to the backstop, but the Sullivan did not really rush to get in and throw it back, so it was an easy trot for Beverly. I mean, that was about as inside as you could hit a baseball, almost on the hands of that pitch was Coleman, but staying alive. 3-2 count here, 2 outs. Runners are going to be running.
That one struck high up, almost in no man's land, called off by the left fielder, and that'll put the inning away for Fairfield, and UMass gets hot with the bats, puts up 5 in the bottom of the second.
That was a great offensive showing by the Minutemen. Everyone doing their part. Home run by Hill was magnificent. 3-run bomb to left center field. And UMass putting some runs on the board as they will go back to defense here.
And we're back here with UMass leading 5-0 in the top of the third inning. Michael Aceto up for the Minutemen on the bump. Alex, what have we seen from him so far this season?
Michael Aceto, last outing was on the 28th of March as the first pitch from Aceto is a strike on the outside corner. Pitched 4 innings, allowed 8 hits and 2 earned runs, but was really a bulk relief in their 1-13 loss against the Rams.
So at the plate now is Dean Ferreira, the third baseman for Fairfield, and one of the leaders, tied for 10th in hits among all Division I players, as he'll take ball 2 outside there, 2-1 to the Stags leadoff hitter.
Yeah, Ferreira, last appearance, grounded out to the shortstop, Jack Peters.
So that one puts the hitter ahead 3-1, just off the outside low corner for Aceto.
But great outing by Ben Thomason. Pitched 2 innings, gave up no runs, no hits, only a couple walks.
Yeah, great way to work himself out of a jam to end his outing, as Ferreira will take ball 4 there on the outside part of the plate. And Aceto sees the first batter he faces get on. And Luke Nomura going to step up for the second time today.
Flew out in the first inning. Again, Minutemen have been mowing them down, so they have not gotten through their lineup as quickly as the Minutemen have today.
Yeah, the first inning feels like so long ago, Alex, after that 5 spot from UMass in the second, as ball 1 will be delivered outside to Nomura right there.
But now runner on, no outs still. This is a similar situation to last inning with Thomason. It's all about compounding strikes, challenging the hitter.
Aceto gets that one in there. Strike 1 on the high outside corner. Evens it up at 1-1 against the Fairfield shortstop.
A great pickoff attempt by Aceto, as was almost about to get in this motion, but just did a quick throw off the first, almost got Ferreira lacking a little bit.
Aceto set now, fired to the plate. And that off-speed drops in there. That pitch has been tricky for all teams all day so far. Seems like it's a more common pitch in baseball these days, that high curveball dropping into the high part of the zone. A lot of guys are scared that, that one hangs too much and gets ripped out of the park, as there's another check on the runner on first.
Yeah, it's an interesting pitch because it's a mix almost when your incorporation of a sweeper in today's game is very, very common, but it's been used a lot today. Wind's pushing the ball around a bit more.
Aceto, the 1-2, check swing foul back by Nomura, and we'll do it again.
Nagila playing through the speakers today here at our Lord. It's a beautiful day, 45 degrees, sunny, sun's on our heads. We're right behind home plate.
Well, Alex, if we're allowed to be fans of anybody, we're allowed to be fans of the sound crew here at Errol Warden Field. They do an incredible job. They always make us laugh on broadcast. It's a little bit unprofessional, but we like to have fun around here.
That's right. It's men baseball, It's all about having fun, but playing hard and winning championships.
It's UMass playing hard so far. Still no outs here in the top of the third. Runner leading off of first is Ferreira, as ball 2 taken there.
Working a good at bat now is Nomura, fouling off the ball as well, working to the pitches he wants to see from Aceto.
So there's another pick back to first base.
Must not be a rule on disengagements, Tim, because he's done about 3 so far in this at-bat to throw over the first to check on Ferreira.
Ferreira's 10 stolen bags on the year. That's a career high so far, as he'll take his secondary lead. That one poked down the left field line, ranging foul for Nomura. And we'll do it again on the 2-2 count.
Yeah, Nomura was very much ahead of that ball. Did not expect the off speed, but good contact. He'll do it again. Deuces, but no outs.
Still count it deuces wild. It's it's the third inning. Damn.
The 2-2 fouled off again by Nomura. He's battling hard in this at bat, and that can be a dangerous situation with UMass managing a bullpen game right now. If they go through too many arms, you don't want a thin bench coming into this weekend against Richmond.
That's right. I completely agree. Bullpen games, gotta limit your pitches.
Aceto, the fire on the 2-2. Runner takes off, strike him out, but can't get the throw out at second base as Ferreira grabs his 11th bag of the year. Nomura is going to sit down with a swing and a miss on strike 3. And Matt Buchero will come up with a runner in scoring position now.
It looks like Ferreira is heading back to the bench. Was it a gun down? It might have been a double play because
initially they called him safe, but it must have been Ferreira stepping off the bag somehow and UMass maintaining the tag. I believe it was Braden Sullivan who came over to nab that play.
Third base coach talking now with the home plate umpire about the play. Looks like everything's settled, but 2 outs. A great defensive play by both Aceto on the strikeout and a great dart by Coleman behind the plate.
And I gotta say, some high IQ there from Braden Sullivan to keep the tag on Ferreira. To see him pop off the base there. Obviously, we don't have any kind of replay, Alex, but I'm just assuming what may have happened. I'm not sure if you saw anything different.
No, I saw same as you. Definitely Ferreira beat the tag by a mile, but must have come off the base. We've been seeing that a bit more often in terms of catching caught on seconds. It's coming off the bag too late.
So now stepping up is Matt Buchero with the bags empty now. He was going to have Ferreira on second base, but now 2 down and a 1-1 count to him from Aceto. So that one will ride outside.
Something I've always noticed, and at least when I was playing, is when I got to get in the second, I would always immediately, when called safe, I would call for time. And I don't know if that's something that was allowed for Ferreira. He just didn't call time, or he did, but it was too late.
I was going to swing and a miss there. Swinging out of his shoes was Buchero, and that'll even up at 2-2. So 2s across the board here as UMass is up 5-0 in the top of the third. And yeah, Alex, I'm not sure if he did call for time. I'm sure it is allowed. You're allowed to do it in middle school, so just not sure how Ferreira might have popped off the bag without properly asking for a timeout. As ball outside there from Aceto runs the count full, 3-2 and 2 outs with Buchero at the plate. That one sneaks in there for strike 3. Michael Aceto with a smooth walk off the bump after he escapes the third inning with no runs allowed.
Oh, a nasty pitch by Aceto there. Just another great inning. No hits, only a 1 walk allowed. And, no one left on base for the Minuteman today. So far for Fairfield, not making the production on the hitting crew in a tough play at second, but UMass going back to their form, original form from last year, showing off why they're one of the top teams in the A-10.
The Minutemen rolling on both sides. We'll see what they come back with the bats in the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third coming up here for UMass. Mark Willie leading off with Matthew Grapman still on the bump.
Update on that play before from last inning, what we thought was an out after a continued tag. It was actually batter's interference. Nomura actually leaned in after his swing and got in the way of Colbin.
So an interesting play there, Alex. I don't know how neither of us caught that. We were right behind home plate here. You think we would have seen the home umpire calling that play. But either way, a fortunate double play there for the Minutemen as it avoided a runner in scoring position and gave them a second out. As Mark Willie takes ball 2 here, head too low in his first at-bat, had that strong single to center.
Scored 2. UMass putting hits together.
So that one gets way away.
Grabman's been a bit loose on the cannon, just a bit outside. And when he was warming up, he was not even hitting the catcher. It was into the backstop. Something to look at going forward is that wildness.
Interesting production so far for the Oregon transfer. The 3-0 to Willie notches the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
Everybody clap your hands.
If you look at the UMass hitting summary, they're 8 for 14 today.
3-1 knocked foul by UMass's first baseman, and that runs it full.
8 for 14. They've scored. They have 3 extra base hits. Struck out only once.
So after starting off the at-bat with 3 straight balls, it's full now on Mark Willie. That pitch rocketed into right field, ranging back and out of here. Mark Willie with the leadoff home run in the bottom of the third, and UMass is ahead 6-0.
Incredible moonshot from the Willie of the Mark. An incredible home run, skied into deep right center field, almost hitting the mini Mullins Center on that one. And UMass, another run, bringing them 6 runs in 9 hits. Incredible.
Mark Willie put an absolute charge into that one, into right field. The big lefty hitting first baseman. Looks like a 2016 David Ortiz right there, if I had to say. As Reese McCarthy, the DH, will dig in now for UMass, and he'll foul that one off to the left side.
All of UMass's home runs have completely cleared the wall and over the hedge that covers most of the outfield.
McCarthy grounds that one back to the pitcher. Some quick hands there as out number 1 goes down for Fairfield. And a great play there from Grabman. Just to stick the glove out and snag that one. Surely would have been a routine play at second anyways, but made the play a lot quicker with the 1-3. Sam Hill returning to the dish after a 3-run homer in the second inning. And that one, he strikes into left field. First pitch of the at-bat. Sam Hill is on fire right now.
And really seeing the ball well is Sam Hill. I mean, the first home run, laser shot, 2 outs, and this one with 1 out. Just a nice first pitch swing from Hill as UMass production is coming in multi-folds. It's incredible.
And Alex, you see the hit disparity right now. 10 for UMass and none for the Fairfield Stags. Their offensive momentum has been potent so far. Not something you'd expect to see from a team that's on a 6-game losing streak.
It's something obviously has clicked within these past couple of days between the loss on Sunday and today. It's a great improvement for the Minutemen.
And check back on Sam Hill at first. Jack Peters at the dish with a 1-0 count on him. And 1 down here in the inning.
Sometimes, in losing streaks, all it takes is 1 game.
So that one struck down the left field line, barely foul for Jack Peters. Is even that foul ball, hard hit. Seems like UMass just can't hit the ball even softly for Fairfield. They don't want to make it easy at all on these visitors.
Not at all. And again, it's just some days if everything feels right, every balls are being connected well, pitches are being thrown in a better location for the pitchers, and everything's coming together for the Minutemen.
Another check on Hill at first as Peters stands with a 1-1 count. Grabman waiting a long time for that delivery, now throws over to first again, changing up his cadence in hopes to catch Hill, taking a secondary lead early, but no budge from the UMass left fielder. Grabman again, the set and the fire. Hill takes off. That one dropped by the catcher, Sullivan, and it'll be an easy bag taken for Sam Hill.
And the catcher, Sullivan, continuing to not be able to make a strong grasp on the ball on his transfers to the throw. And a great piece of stealing from Sam Hill. Sam Hill having one great day, I'd say. One of the best games of his collegiate career so far.
It's taken for ball 2 inside there. Peters with the good eye to even the count up at 2-2.
Peters, even though grounded out in the first inning, still making some great contact. So any contact on the ground, as long as it's the right side, will move the runner over.
So 2-2, 1 out, and Hill leading off a second. The fire from Grabman, grounded into left field. Hill going to be rounding third base, trying to score. Coming up and throwing is Storino, and Hill is gunned down. Nick Storino with a bullet to the plate.
Wow. I really thought that Hill had that bag and then some. But a great play by Chirino as a one hop to Sullivan behind the plate was successful and by far was in time.
So now for UMass, Anthony Tirado back up as Jack Peters advanced to second on the throw from the left fielder Storino. Another man in scoring position with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Fouled back there by Tirado.
That play just hurts because it was a great piece of hitting by Peters. It got it right past the shortstop by shortstop Nomura, but it was just hit a bit too softly. Was able to get Torino in movement as he was bringing up the ball, and a great throw.
Tirado fouls it back again. 0-2 on the UMass center fielder in his third at-bat of the day.
Surprisingly, no hits are getting on base for Tirado today as he grounded out in the first and flew out in the second. But getting an at-bat every inning are some of these UMass players.
One of only 2 UMass players without a knock so far as he'll ground that one over to third base. Ferreira over to first, and now close the inning for Fairfield as they give up another one in the bottom of the third. UMass ahead 6-0.
And that run came by at the hands of Mark Willie. A long shot. They almost hit the Millie Mullins, maybe even to Leaderley, as it was a great piece of hitting by the Minutemen, putting bat on ball once more, and UMass showing a great offensive performance today.
The bats continue to flow for UMass. The defense will have to see in the top of the fourth.
And we're back here in the top of the fourth with UMass leading 6-0. Tyler Kipp, the 4-hitter for Fairfield, taking the plate, digging into that right side of the batter's box as Aceto fires strike one in there with the off speed, sneaking on the inside part of the plate.
And Aceto had a strong inning in his last, inning number 2, or inning number 3, as he gave up no runs, no hits, only a couple walks.
Ball one outside there on the Stags DH.
Kipp on his last appearance walked, made it to third, but could not make it home.
That one a looper on the outside part of the plate. Colbin gives his pitcher a nod. Just a little bit of assurance here
And
as Kipp goes up 2-1 in the count.
Aceto also one of those guys who can give you lots of innings. Pitched 4 against Rhode Island.
So that one struck towards right field. Hansen raging over for it, and he'll grab it for out number 1. So the UMass defense continues their flow. 10 straight outs here.
And that ball almost, if it didn't have that much height on it, would have split both Hansen and Tirado in right center. But a great piece of fielding by Hansen, and one away now for the Minutemen.
You'll have to, 10 straight outs without a hit for the Minutemen.
Incredible.
Few runners have gone on with a walk. As ball number 1 there to Sean Meth was outside. Seto gets a swing and a miss there.
It was a nasty curveball by Aceto. With that sidearm motion he has, completely fooled Meth on that pitch.
Absolutely, that one started at the chest, dipped below the knees. A nasty pitch from Aceto as he tries to get another one in there, and it'll be fouled off by the Fairfield first baseman.
Meth was hit by pitch in his last attempt. One of the couple mistakes by Sam Thomason.
As Aceto comes set on the 1-2. That one just below the knees, evens the count up with 1 down here in the top of the 4th. The 2-2 from Aceto. Digs down low again. The most eventful count in baseball, 3-2. Coming up here for Sean Meth. Fire from Aceto. Fouled off down the line. Willie giving chase. And we'll do it again on a full count.
Yeah, it was a foul ball that carried just a bit too much. If that hung in the air a bit longer and a bit closer to the first base, Willie would have had a grab on it. But both him and Hansen in right field equidistant to that ball as it fell out of bounds.
A good job there from Meth to keep fighting in this at-bat. Full count pitch again. That one, swing and a miss by Meth. And a strikeout to start off the inning with 2 down now for Aceto as the throw around got skied into left field by Colbin.
I tell you, that's not the first time that's happened in a baseball game. And in middle school, that's common. I was actually in one of my high school and middle school teams. We would stop throwing around because of how many times the third baseman, that being me, would not be able to catch the throw from the catcher.
Interestingly enough, Alex, I relate to that exactly. I could not catch the ball from the catcher. It seems like it would always be short.
It's always be high. I could jump that high. It's not like anything is on me. I'm an excellent fielder. It's just something's wrong with the catcher.
Strike 1 goes there on Storino. It's 1-1 on him. And Alex, how about we stop, blaming our catchers? Let's take a little blame for ourselves. We weren't the best third baseman. We're not out there right now. Aceto finds the inside part of the plate there.
Again,
Storino going to give an argument to it as he jumped back from it.
I'd say I couldn't play at a collegiate level, but at my time and at my base, I wasn't half bad. I mean, obviously some problems with my catch.
As that one struck into the right center field gap by Storino, ranging back as Hansen, and that one will sneak over the wall. Fairfield on the board here in the top of the 4th inning with a home run by Nick Storino.
And Storino, this one was a line drive shot into the right center field ivy. That was like a Homer Simpson meme as he folds his way back into the ivy as that ball just jumped over the wall and into the Wrigley type hedge that surrounds our Alorum Field.
So the Stags left fielder gets the scoring going here for the away team as they trail 6-1. That was their first hit of the game. Was that blast into right center field. Now Fairfield trying to find some offensive momentum with 2 down here in the 4th. Seto sneaks that one through the top of the zone. Strike number 2 here on Schmozel.
Just go back to that home run. It was not even a moonshot.
Has a script ball there into the dirt from Aceto on the off speed.
It felt like it could have been catchable if it was just in the air a tad longer, because both Hansen and Torado were there, and Torado having made one of those catches in a series against Dayton.
Aceto, the 1-2, just off the outside of the plate, evens the count up.
Schmalzel did his best. Juan Soto, wearing number 22, a shake off from that pitch and walked around strutting his stuff.
TJ Schmalzel, the 2-2 pitch to him, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll put away the inning for the Minutemen again. So a solo shot from Storino. Fairfield on the board, still trailing 6-1 after 4 innings of action offensively.
Yeah, great. I mean, with unfortunate 1 hit given up by Aceto, which conceded in a home run. Aceto pitched well, going through 2 innings now, and obviously still a 5-1 lead for the Minuteman here as we move into the bottom of the 4th inning here on the YouTube for WMUA.
So UMass up 6-1 after giving up the solo shot in the top of the 4th. We'll see how the Bats respond when we come back. Coming back to the bottom of the 4th here with UMass leading 6-1 at Earl Gordon Field, the 9th game of their homestand, and looking to close it on a win. As on the bump now, Braden Sullivan is going to sky that one to the right center field gap. Giving it chase is the right fielder,
Buchero, and he'll have it for out number 1. As Blake Helmstetter starts off his outing well. 1 pitch, 1 out. A grad student out of Franklin, New Jersey, made the 2024 MWAC All-Academic team. So far this year has pitched to a 9.6 ERA. Fire from Helmstetter. 1-0 now on Jack Beverly, who had an RBI double earlier in this game. Strike 1 right down the middle there from Helmstetter.
And Helmstetter, a lefty, pitched 15 innings so far, 9.6 ERA as you mentioned, but 0-2 on the year.
Strike 2 there, files on the inside part of the plate. Beverly checking if that's as far as home plate umpire will go inside. 1-2, skips in the dirt, and evens the count up.
Beverly having a great day. Great day hitting so far. Had a single in the first and then had a double, RBI double in the second, and scored on that same. So 2 for 2 on the day. Giving himself a pat on the back for that.
Helmstetter, the fire on the 2-2, swinging a foul tip by Beverly. That'll keep him alive here. 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Two to Beverly. Swing. Skied high into left field. Storino is under it. That'll be out number 2.
And Beverly still looking a little limpy on his running. Something might be up, but again, nothing you can really do on that. It was a pop fly. Storino's been playing great defense in left field.
Of course, Storino having that assist on the gun down to home plate in that 3rd inning. Carter Hansen steps up for the lefty-lefty matchup, takes strike 1 on a slider there that he checked at. It's a difficult matchup for a lot of these lefty hitters.
No, especially looks like Helmstetter has a sweeper too.
That one misses just low for Helmstetter, evens up the count at 1-1.
We can kind of see from our position here behind the plate, Tim. We can see the horizontal break as well as the vertical. And Helmstetter got both.
Swing and a miss from Hansen for strike number 2, and he walks out of the box a little frustrated. Trying to settle himself back down here in a 1-2 count. That one delivered low from Helmstetter.
These pitches look deadly on left-handed batters for Helmstetter. I mean, I guess from our right to left, but left to right for the pitchers. Incredible.
2-2 on Hansen. That one goes to the backstop on the high fastball from Helmstetter as he whips around that arm up on the bump. Puts Hansen in a full count now. The 3-2 from Helmstetter, low. And a great at-bat there from Hansen to draw the walk with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
And way to work out of an 0-2 count. Hansen at the beginning of that bat looked scared, honestly, at the type of pitches he was getting from Helmstetter, but worked back to the count in a great way to work a walk and getting a two-out base runner for the Minutemen.
So now Ryan Colvin up to the plate, right-handed catcher. One of 2 Minutemen still without a hit on the day, and he fouls that one back and out of play. Into the beautiful red trees here right by the media box at Earl Gordon Field. It's a nice day out here, Alex.
It's a nice day. A little chilly now as the sun has departed, at least from behind the backstop where we are sitting, but it's still great to be out here to watch some baseball in great location as always here at Earl Gordon Field.
0-1 on Colvin. Hansen leading off of first. That one finds too big of a part of the inside. So it'll be 1-1 on the UMass catcher.
Colbin now, at least in his 2 plate appearances, has struck out and flown out. Looking to make something of himself here.
Hansen takes off from first. A foul back by Colbin will send him 90 feet the other way. And we'll do it again on a 1-2.
Hit and runs are tough, Tim, because as a hitter, you got to make contact somehow. And it sometimes isn't the best type of contact you want. So at worst case, you want to foul that ball off in the scenario where you miss and the runner is gunned down at second, which luckily did not happen there.
So still 1-2-1 Colbin with 2 down here. Hansen threatening off of first base. Pickoff move from Helmstetter. A pretty readable one, if I do say, but maybe not trying exactly to get the out, just trying to keep Hansen on the bag. The delivery and swung and a strike out into left field, ranging back and over the wall. Ryan Colbin gets himself his first hit of the day in a big way. Fires it over the left field wall, and UMass is up 8-1.
Home run by number 9, Ryan Colbin.
Ryan Colbin, after 2 plate appearances with not much production, made something of himself in that at-bat, because that one was long gone into the ivy in left field. And UMass now taking a considerable lead here, breaking open the barrier into this now 7-run lead. 8-1 is the score here in the bottom of the 4th.
And Mark Willie coming up for UMass, homered in his last at-bat, the big first baseman. The Minutemen now with 3 home runs in this game. Sam Hill, Willie, and Colbin just now. As Helmstetter loses grip of that one over the head of the lefty batter.
And if you're Matt Reynolds, now the head coach for the Minutemen, you got to be happy with the performance these Minutemen players have been putting up for your team. I mean, this is production after production after production.
As Willie splits that one to opposite field, giving a chase to Storino, and he'll have it to close out the inning. So a 2-run bomb from Ryan Colbin increases UMass's lead to 8-1 as we head to the the top of the 5th.
Yeah, it's a great piece of hitting by the Minutemen. I mean, 12 hits on the day already, 8 resulting runs. An important stat I'll bring up next inning is that there are 6 of 9 with 2 out counts. So a great play from UMass.
These Minutemen continue to fire on offense. The defense going to have to step up still through these next couple innings if they want to break their 6-game losing streak. We'll see if they can when we come back. Enter into the top of the 5th here, Earl Gordon Field, as UMass went up 8-1 in the bottom of the 4th with a 2-run homer from Ryan Colbin. Coming up for Fairfield is Nolan Colby. drew a walk in his first at bat. Just his second appearance to the dish today. And he'll take ball one from Macedo, who is in his third inning of action.
Yeah, Sato, strong 2 innings. Only mistake was the home run given up in the second.
As ball two is outside there again.
But through 39 pitches, he has had 4 Ks, only 1 walk allowed, and 1 hit, that being the home run.
2-0 to the Fairfield 8-hitter is low and inside. So 3-0 count to start off the 5th inning here for Aceto.
It's the 5th inning, and Ryan Colby has only faced a UMass pitcher once besides this attempt.
That one right down the middle, a free strike one for Aceto on the 3-0 count. To Nolan Colby high, and a leadoff walk for the Fairfield second baseman here in the 5th.
Seems like a common theme here for the Minutemen, as giving up a walk seems in the first plate appearance of each inning seems like a common occurrence, but they work back into the innings throughout the rest of the players they face.
So the 9-hitter now for the Stags, Billy Sullivan, he squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes strike one.
Colby has stolen 8 bases and has not been caught stealing this year, so look for him to potentially steal on this pitch.
Seto, the fire to Billy Sullivan, he rockets that one into left field, a high fly. Under it is Hill, and he makes the routine play.
Some nice crowd cheer from the press box up there at Earl Orton Field. We love to see it.
Now batting.
So now one down for Fairfield, with Nolan Colby leading off the first base. Back to the top of the lineup with Dean Ferreira, as he's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Check over to Colby on first. To no avail.
And Ferreira, I mean, on the year, batting 0 for 400. I fear that the law of averages will set in for the Fairfield starting third baseman.
Ferreira again, top 10 in hits in all of Division I. He'll strike that one over to Peters, a hard ground ball. He'll go the short route to second, over to first, and gets him. 6-4-3 double play gets UMass out of the inning as the defense continues to roll for the Minutemen.
And that is just a way to strike back. It seems that every time UMass gets into struggles on defense, something clicks. Whether it be strikeouts after strikeout or a double play like we just saw here, UMass is getting out of the jams they get themselves into and providing the backup on offense.
This UMass defense showing flair, and the offense is too, as the bats will come back up here in the bottom of the 5th. UMass leading 8-1. Getting back to action here in the bottom of the fifth inning with Reese McCarthy stepping up to the plate for UMass, a new pitcher on the bump for Fairfield, Jake Mamoli, a Greenburgh, New Jersey native, and he's only made 6 appearances so far this season, and he'll have his 7th here at Earl Gordon Field. Fires strike one in there as it falls out of the glove of Billy Sullivan behind the dish.
McCarthy on the day is 1 for 2 with a hit in the second inning. He scored on that also, one of UMass's 8 runs today.
Mamoli, the right-hander, throws that one to the dirt for ball 1, 1-1 on McCarthy. And Mamoli came in for relief last year against the Minutemen on April 10th, as he'll get a swing and a miss there for strike 2 on McCarthy. Righty went 2 1/3 innings and let in 5 runs. He took the loss in that one, as Fairfield, I believe, lost 12-5 to the Minutemen last year. He'll dig that one into the dirt here, evens up the count of McCarthy 2-2.
Almost a full year since that game, Tim, as it seems that Fairfield and UMass meet up at similar times of the year for intercollegiate play.
Short ride between Connecticut and Mass as McCarthy will ground it over to second, the play over to first, and a narrow out gotten by Nolan Colby to start off the 5th inning
Now batting
defensively for Fairfield.
Number 4, Sam Hill.
Sam Hill stepping up to some applause from the fans, as is well deserved after a 3-run home run in the second and a single in the third. Man, is he producing today, Tim?
Yeah, had a hard single on the first pitch of his at-bat previous, and he'll swing and miss at strike 1 here from Mamoli. But absolutely, what a day from Sam Hill so far. Out of the 8 spot for Mass. So swing and miss at strike 2, down 0-2 is Hill.
And Hill, not one of those guys who starts every day for UMass. UMass finding that production from their bench, similar to how Mitchell Schroeder came off the bench for Rhode Island a couple weeks ago.
Mamoli throws that one downstairs. 1-2 on Hill. And as you said, Sam Hill taking over that left fielder position a little bit. Saw some more action late in that Dayton series with Gavin O'Brien on the bench, a more typical left fielder for UMass. The 1-2 from Mamoli skips in front of the plate again.
Everybody clap your hands.
It's 2-2 now.
I mean, if you look up to this point, Sam Hill only had 29 at-bats, had 5 hits at that time, and 11 Ks. And I mean, coming out today, 2 for 2, is a great improvement.
That pitch, swing and a miss by Hill, and he'll be set down for the first time today with the K. Jake Mamoli able to conquer UMass's hottest hitter in this one, as he gives some information to Jack Peters stepping
Now
up to the
batting
dish.
shortstop, number 3, Jack Peters.
2 down now in the bottom of the 5th for UMass. As Mamoli gets strike 1 on Peters.
Jack Peters was able to single in the first after grounding out, in the third, sorry, after grounding out in the second. And something to keep aware of is UMass, with 2 outs, is 6 for 10. And so this is when their production comes the most, at least in this game.
That one outside makes it 1-1 on the UMass shortstop. Mamoli with some smooth sailing so far. 2 batters faced and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, as Peters knocks that one into center field. Coming over for it is Schmalzel, and he'll put the inning away. So a good appearance there from Mamoli in the 5th as they come away clean for the first time in 3 innings, and UMass goes back out on defense.
That's right. 1-2-3 inning for Mamoli. And first, as you said, first 1-2-3 inning for Fairfield on defense. And this may be the defensive push they needed to encourage their offense to get back out there and put some runs on the board.
Past the halfway point in this game now. UMass leading 8-1. Fairfield still looking for a big offensive strike to get them back in this one. We'll see what the Bats have when we come back. And we're back here for the top of the 6th inning. Man, time is just flying by in this one, Alex, as UMass is leading 8-1.
Leading on number 2, Luke Nomura.
Nuke Nomura, the shortstop, going to be leading off for the Fairfield Stags, as they have just 1 hit on the board, being his solo home run 2 innings ago.
And Michael Aceto out there for his 4th inning. Only gave up that 1 hit, that being the home run to player behind the plate right now.
As he'll throw it low and outside there for ball 2 on Nomura, maybe working away right now from the only batter to have a hit for Fairfield. Seto, that one struck out to right field. Hansen ranging towards the corner, chasing after it on a slide, can't get it, and it'll drop foul.
It's a great run by Hansen. Definitely picked up speed. I thought this would drop before it got to him, but a great defensive effort. Did not come through, but good showing from the UMass right fielder.
Absolutely at full tilt there was Hansen.
Lost his hat. At least I can see from my angle. Lost his hat on the run. Usually when that happens, something good happens, but at least not in this chance.
Just barely unable to make the play there is the UMass right fielder. It's 2-1 now on Nomura, as that off-speed pitch will fall inside. 3-1 now.
Wind stopped here at Earl Lorton Field. Used to be picked up a bit going out, but now wind stop, shadows moving in.
Seto, that one fired back up the middle, snagged what was still in the air by Sullivan. So a line out to second base for Nomura.
Look, that was almost, I thought that might have hit the ground before it hit the glove, but a great play by Sullivan, getting that line drive just to barely pick it up from the ground.
Yeah, snagged just barely above the dirt. I didn't know if he was going to take it on one hop there and throw over to first, or just make the simple play. But a good job tracking the ball just barely above the ground. As ball 1 outside there, Matt Buchero digging in again.
Buchero has grounded out and struck out looking in his 2 plate appearances.
Thought about that one, falls outside again, 2-0. Seto not getting ahead early in these at-bats, but still chugging his way through these Fairfield hitters. As there's another take from Buchero, it'll be 3-0. Buchero, 2024 All-MAAC first-team member, had 15 homers and 61 RBIs as he takes strike one there on the 3-0 count, making it 3-1 with one down here.
On the season, Buchero is batting over 300, 314, with OPS of over 1,000, so great hitter.
That one misses the zone again for Aceto. Taking the walk is Buchero. Another man on for Fairfield, but they haven't been able to produce with runners on very often.
No, they have not. It seems that every time the runner gets on for Fairfield, a magical thing happens for UMass that allows them to get out of that situation with runners on base.
So Tyler Kipp up now for the Stags as Aceto fires. That one grounded over to third base. Peters can't handle it, doesn't have the play at first, and an error at shortstop for the Minutemen will put runners on first and second for Fairfield.
Now that was going to be a double play to end the inning, as it was very similar to the last inning of a ground ball to Jack Peters, but unfortunately Peters couldn't come up with it, and now 2 men on for Sean Meth.
Sean Meth with a runner in scoring position here and 1 out. Like you said, Alex, Aceto getting into the late innings here, his 4th inning of work. They're coming in for relief. The fire here, swing and a miss way early from Meth. An excellent curveball right there.
Aceto's got some movement to his pitches still, and that curveball is quite nasty coming in on the righty.
0-1 on Meth. That one poked. Shortstop over to second, first base, and a double play. 6-4-3 go the Minutemen. And again, they escape a jam.
It seems like the ground balls are working in Massachusetts' favor. And another inning-ending double play for the Minutemen here. And UMass continually flooding the defense, moving the defense over, and the offense coming through for them too. So great defensive showing.
So Jack Peters not letting his mistake stay in his head, makes a successful double play flow through there on the 6-4-3. UMass still up 8-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And the bottom of the 6th getting underway here between UMass and Fairfield as the Minutemen lead 8-1. Get the bats back up here in the 6th inning. Jimmy Mulvaney taking the bump for Fairfield.
Jimmy Mulvaney through 10 and 2/3 innings, 5.91 ERA.
In his last appearance, went 2 scoreless against Sacred Heart, and he'll deliver ball 1 there for Anthony Tirado.
Mulvaney almost a submarine pitcher, as his release point is quite low, almost at his knees.
I'd absolutely say submarine, Alex. This is a weird release point for the Minutemen to deal with. You can see why he's someone that Fairfield would want to put in this spot.
I mean,
Just
they're
trying
trying
to confuse the Minutemen offense with how they've been flowing. So now 1-1 on Tirado. Sidearm fire nubbed into left field, coming in on his Sereno, and that one will fall down for a bloop base hit to start off the inning for UMass.
And Tirado finally getting on base, as he was 0 for 3 before that single. And again, when he's on base, it's a good thing for the Minutemen because he's fast and he's also just incredible. He's just usually so consistent at getting on base. It puts his opportunities for the Minutemen on the top.
Well, Alex, I'll tell you now, that's the 9th guy to get a hit in this UMass lineup, so 1 through 9 for the Minutemen. All have gotten on base with a knock so far, as there's a check over to Tirado on first.
You're quite
Some
right.
disapproval from the sound crew here.
Just having a little bit of fun.
Braden Sullivan at the dish now. And he'll take ball 1 outside. Earlier extended his hitting streak to 5 games for the Minutemen. He's one of the most consistent hitters in this lineup all year.
There's a reason he's batting second, Tim, and it's 100% his on-base predictability and his hitting.
Another check over to first base. As Mulvaney has delivered just 1 pitch so far to Sullivan.
I mean, Tirado on the base pass has stolen 13, but been caught 4 for stolen base percentage of 76%.
Has a 3rd check over. Apparently the message is not getting through from the sound crew to Mulvaney.
It's not happening, but strong lead.
Still 1-0 here on Sullivan. As taking off is Tirado. Throw down to second. They got him. And Anthony Tirado perks his head up confused. Maybe the umpire believing his legs kicked up in the air. And that was the part that was able to be tagged by the second baseman, Colby.
It was a great play by Sullivan, a great throw, and a good tag, too. I don't know, could have been bang-bang play because it looked pretty close, but...
Yeah, Billy Sullivan with the rifle over there to second base, and got to trust the umpire's judgment as that one's ground over to third by Braden Sullivan. The play to first is routine for Ferreira, and that'll be out number 2 in the inning.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 11, Jack Beverly.
Jack Beverly coming up for UMass. Has himself an RBI already on the day. He's 2 for 3 overall. Mulvaney, the fire on the 0-0. Grounded right back to him off the inside part of the bat. He'll flip it over to first. And Jimmy Mulvaney works through the Minuteman lineup pretty easily in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, it seems like the Fairfield has worked their defense into a more suitable position for them, not giving up more runs, hasn't given up a run since the 4th now, moving into the 7th. So Fairfield is kind of, they're adjusting, and it's working for them, only 7-run game.
So the Minutemen cooling off offensively, going to want to keep that defensive momentum rolling here as we head to the top of the 7th. Just 3 innings away are the Minutemen from snapping their 6-game losing streak against Fairfield. coming back now in the top of the 7th with UMass leading 8-1 as Michael Aceto takes the mound again, and he's put in some extended work here, Alex.
That's right. This is going to be the most pitches he's ever pitched in a game this year, as he had 61 against Rhode Island a couple of weeks ago, but this is his 61st pitch right now.
So that one is high on the curveball.
He seemed to take a very good take to the bulk relief role, as UMass has been looking for that bulk relief starter for these outings. And Aceto is a great candidate.
I was going to say settles back in with the strike, but that one barely on
Barely
the
on
outside
the
part of the plate. Maybe a tough call for a reliever who's trying to work his way through. There is some action in the UMass bullpen actively, as a third straight ball here to Storino.
And Aceto's been getting to a lot of these 3-0 counts early against batters. Has to work back into what count? Oh,
As that one will hit Storino, jumping up in the air, hit him on the ankle, maybe the leg guard there. Fortunately, if he hadn't jumped, it was somewhere around the knee. So a little bit of a control issue to start off the 7th for Aceto.
once again,
Now batting, number 22.
Fairfield has runners on base for the first plate appearances of their innings, but let's see if they can actually put more runs on the board, as they have not previous.
TJ Smallsel coming up for the Stags as they trail by 7 runs here in the 7th inning. Ball 1, again a curveball high from Aceto.
Aceto now 65 pitches now. Don't know how long Matt Reynolds will keep him out.
Schmalzi lines that one to left field, getting down and heading towards the corner there in the outfield, turning and going to third is Storino, and moving up to second is Schmalzel. So no outs and runners on second and third for Fairfield.
Great piece of hitting from Schmalzel there, the second Schmalzel there, as he absolutely lined one down the left field line, similar to what UMass has been doing all game in terms of their hard hit percentage. But now Fairfield in a bad position as the catcher makes a step to the mound.
Yeah, good to get a conversation here with Aceto, try to calm down his nerves and know you're working with a big lead right here. So you don't have to be too shy to this hitter right now, which will be Nolan Colby, the second baseman. And he doesn't have an at-bat registered on the day. Two walks in his first 2 plate appearances. Matt Reynolds will come out to the bump now to have a conversation.
I mean, I don't think Ryan Colby is going to...
Well, it looks like they're going to be pulling Aceto here after a hits batter and a double to open up the 7th inning. UMass is going to make a pitching change. None down, 2 runners in scoring position for Fairfield. And Aceto will get a small round of applause here and some fist bumps from his teammates heading to the bench after a strong 4-inning effort there. And a pair of runners accredited to his name.
That's right, 4 innings pitched, only gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run on that solo shot, 3 walks, but 4 strikeouts on the day. And through 66 pitches, that will be his outing as a new pitcher for the Minutemen coming back.
So now with 2 guys on, Alex, this is a big chance for Fairfield to get back in this game. What do you need here from Adam Merritt on the bump for UMass to stop this offensive momentum they built?
Get an out, preferably a strikeout, even a pop-out would be good. Sac fly is in play here for the next 2 batters, depending on where those at-bats go. But for UMass, it's imperative that you get a strikeout here, and Adam Merritt's going to have to do that for the Minutemen, as Fairfield are in great position here to put some runs back on the board.
So Merritt, freshman righty out of West Hartford, Connecticut. Perhaps a little bit familiar with these Fairfield Stags, of course, playing out of Fairfield, Connecticut. In his last appearance against Dayton, that was 3 days ago on the 6th, pitched 1 1/3 innings and let in a run, a pair of strikeouts. Looking to come up in a big situation here for the Minutemen.
That's right. On the year for Merritt, 8.44 ERA through 10 2/3 innings, allowing 13 hits and 8 earned runs. But he's going to have to put in a tough position here to try to get out of a tough inning with 2 men on and no outs.
A good part of the order for a new reliever to face as far as stats go. The 211 hitter, Nolan Colby, going to be at the dish here. Obviously has had himself some patience today, drawing those 2 walks, but definitely going to want to look for a hit here.
I honestly am not too sure, because Colby on the day, 2 walks. I think he's going to feel some luck with just sticking on the base. Obviously, getting on base means they're putting force into play, but any way to get on base, you got no outs, still be a chance for a run.
Any way you see it, Colby certainly seeing the ball well today. We'll see if he can deliver as he digs in here as the first batter against Adam Merritt. And Merritt will deliver ball 1 there, as Nick Storino is the runner on third base. TJ Schmalzi leading off as second. Merritt on the 1-0. So that one's popped up towards left field. Sam Hill coming for it. Jack Peters calls him off. The runner faked the tag at third base. Peters shallow enough to have gunned him down, but Storino scurries back safely.
I was thinking that was going to be a very daring play by Storino, as tagging up when the ball is not too shallow. Peters did not expect it. He was easing back after the catch and then had to quickly move. But again, great job by Merritt forcing a pop out here. Now with 1 out in a not as easy a situation, but you give up a chance for only 1 sac fly rather than 2.
Absolutely, as we'll have a pinch hitter here, J.P. Cusick out of Saddlebrook, New Jersey. He was the Stagsby's comeback player of the year last season, and so far this year has a .292 average, so he's pinch hitting for the catcher, Billy Sullivan. And he'll take ball 1 there from Merritt, as that curveball couldn't loop itself into the zone.
This is an excellent time for a pinch hitter right now. Pitcher is trying to think about who they're going to face in the lineup, putting something unpredictable.
As that one struck out to left field, a deep fly for Sam Hill. He'll grab it, Storino tagging, going to home, and that'll score a run easily as Schmalzel stays at second base.
Yeah, apparently Gavin O'Brien has taken Sam Hill's position in left field, but you're right, sac fly for Fairfield, shortening that lead from 7 to 6 now.
So down 8-2 are the Fairfield Stags, with Schmalzel still leading off of second. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Merritt firing in strike 1 to Dean Ferreira.
Obviously still a duck on the pond here for Fairfield with Schmalzel at second. A hit will most likely mean a run.
Ferreira 0 of 2 on the day with a walk, as he fouled that one back for strike 2 here. 0-2 on the Fairfield third baseman.
And Ferreira, surprisingly, 0 for 2, and also grounded into a double play in the 5th. Very unlike him, as he's probably one of the best hitters in collegiate baseball right now. batting over 400. Over 400, sorry.
So he takes his time right here, getting back into the box. Two strikes and no balls on the star third baseman for Fairfield as Merritt digs that one into the dirt, dancing off of second base is Schmalzel, but he'll head back after Colvin finds it.
It was a dropped ball from the catcher, Colvin, but it was luckily right under his butt, basically, as he was able to find it, and the runner at second, Schmalzel, did not advance. But I think he would have him down at third if he were to be so bold.
Definitely a good decision there by Schmalzel to stay as Merritt delivers that one low, and that one will skip away, and now he'll move up to third base as the count evens up at 2-2 for Ferreira.
A wild pitch there for Merritt, not what you want to see. There was one out that would put a sac fly in position. Luckily, Deuces wild here, 2 outs for Fairfield. UMass trying to get out of this one here. Up 6 here in the bottom of the 7th.
That pitch skipped through the dirt again from Merritt. That one way out in front of the plate.
Is that three straight balls in the dirt from Merritt?
So, Alex, that'll run it to a full count here. Ferreira standing on third, no one behind him, so obviously he will not take off here.
UMass crowd encouraging Merritt.
Merritt, the 3-2 to Ferreira, high. That'll put another runner on, so men at the corners for Fairfield with Luke Nomura coming up. He's shown off his power before with that home run in the 4th inning.
Fitzgerino might have hit that home run. Nomura 0 for 3 on the day.
Now batting
Oh, excuse me, Alex. Yeah,
no
that
worries,
is
no
correct.
worries at all. But still a tough position as Nomura is batting almost 300 on the year. It's going to be a tough face for Merritt. Look, there might be a potential steal from Ferreira.
As that curveball starts off the at-bat 1-0 for the Fairfield shortstop.
Hard to find the strike zone. Minuteman pitches recently have been struggling.
There at the delivery on the 1-0, high again. 3 straight balls high between the last 2 at-bats for Merritt. In fact, 6 straight balls in total.
Man.
2-0, high again.
That's 7 straight balls, if I'm not too correct. So UMass not throwing strikes right now, and that's unfortunate because one more and the bases will be loaded for Buchero.
Merritt, the 3-0, high again. So in the at-bat to Ferreira, it was 4 balls low. Well, 3 balls low, 1 high. Then to Nomura, 4 balls straight above the zone.
And then
So the pitching coach for UMass will come out, Brandon Shalakis, as he'll have a conversation with Merritt. Some action in the UMass bullpen, but obviously no one ready to come in yet, with the Minutemen expecting Merritt to get them out of this inning and maybe even some more.
I mean, all Merritt needs to do is get an out anyway, whether that be strikeout, fly out, pop out, ground out. It's got to happen somehow, and that starts by throwing strikes. However, bases are loaded. With a home run here, a grand slam would put Fairfield within 2 of UMass's lead. So important is to keep it here in the ballpark, and most importantly, let it be an out.
So bags full as ball 1 is delivered there to Matt Buchero. 314 hitter with 27 RBIs on the year. One of the most threatening batters in this Fairfield lineup. The 1-0 to him finds the high part of the zone for Merritt. His first strike in 9 pitches.
It's a little scary for being bit, man.
So that one can't find the top part of the zone. Very close call there behind the dish.
That could have been called a strike, at least from our angle here behind the plate at Earl Lorden.
Buchero up 2-1, now 3-1 with another high fastball.
Those two both look like fastballs to me, Tim. If the strike zone is from your chest down to your knees, that would meet that position.
So 3-1, nowhere to put Buchero, and that one's fouled off, backing out of play. So 3-2, 2 outs, bags loaded, everyone's going for Matt Buchero as Adam Merritt battles against him. The 3-2 from Merritt. Outside, and an RBI walk for Matt Buchero. Makes it 2 runs in the inning for Fairfield. They're down 8-3 now. And they'll do it again with the bases loaded. Tyler Kipp, the DH, coming up.
Now batting number 20, Tyler Kipp.
This is unfortunate because these are unnecessary runs by walk.
Seto gets strike 1 there on Kipp. Finally ahead of a batter is Merritt. 0-1 from Merritt, grounded towards third base. That one a hot shot into the outfield. As 1 run will score, a second one comes around for Fairfield, and Kipp will stay at first. 2 RBI single there down the third base line for Tyler Kipp, and Fairfield is battling back.
And that was a line drive, not even a ground ball that just almost hit third base as it went past the diving Beverly at third. And 2 more runs added, 4 in the inning so far. And now Fairfield within 3 of UMass's lead that they built so far up in the first and second inning.
Sean Meth up here for Fairfield with 2 down still. All of this damage has come with 2 outs, Alex, as Merritt inherited runners on second and third, and now Fairfield has cycled the bags a couple times. That one grounded towards second base. Sullivan grabs it, fires over to first, and UMass finally gets out of the inning after giving up 4 runs in the 7th. A tough situation for Merritt to come in, but he sees 4 runs cross the plate. And Fairfield cuts the lead for UMass from 7 down to 3.
That's right. And now Fairfield in a much better position, down 3, very manageable. And as we move to the 7th inning stretch, it's going to be it's going to be a lot easier for Fairfield to come back into this game, now only down 3.
UMass 6 outs away from snapping their 6-game losing streak, but Fairfield doesn't want to let it happen. We'll see what they can come out with on offense to maybe boost this lead in the bottom of the 7th. Getting back to action here in the bottom of the 7th inning with UMass leading 8-5 over Fairfield. A new man on the bump for the Stags. Kevin Kell is taking the mound as he's pitched to a 1.88 ERA this season with a 2.45 batting average against. The hitter will be Carter Hansen to start off the inning for UMass as he looks for his 3rd hit of the day, 2 for 2 so far. And he'll strike that one out to right center field. Getting under it is Schmalzel for out 1 in the inning.
Yeah, first pitch swinging was Hansen. Looked like it might drop in front of Schmalzel, but quick enough was he to get to it and put it away 1 out in the inning. And Fairfield continuing to show more defensive prowess here in the later innings of this game.
So now Ryan Colvin coming in. Of course, had the 2-run homer earlier in this game, and he'll watch that curveball up high for ball 1 in this at-bat. Kevin Kell, son of sort of a baseball legacy. His father, Rob Kell, played at Temple and was drafted in the 36th round by the Texas Rangers, made his way up to AAA with the OKC 89ers. Son right here with a 1-1 count. Fires that one low, makes it 2-1 here against Sullivan.
And Kell, a strikeout pitcher if there ever was one, through only, I believe, 11 innings, has thrown 26 strikeouts.
As he fires another one in there, makes it 2-2 on the UMass second baseman.
Colvin has, Ryan Coleman, that person at bat, has hit a home run today, 1 of the 3 from UMass.
Excuse me, the UMass catcher, as he takes ball 3 there. The 3-2 to Colvin outside, and he draws a walk to start off the inning for UMass.
And a good job for the Minutemen there. It's a good start. Obviously, no outs in the inning with 1 out from that fly out by Hansen. But now runners on, and Mark Willie coming up. Another one other participant of the home run derby here today at Earl Lorden Field.
Mark Willie, one of 4 total home runs we've seen in this game. 1 coming from Fairfield, 3 by UMass. It was a solo shot for Willie that he had pulled deep into right field. That was a monster shot, Alex.
It was. You know, Willie has that power to put another one out here.
Kell, back-to-back pickoff attempts over to first.
Earl Lorden Field letting the pitcher know that he is not getting that runner out at first.
Still 0-0 on Willie. Now he'll take ball 1 up high. On the UMass first baseman here, with Carter Hansen leading off of first base. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Great placement there from Kell.
Yeah, Willie on the year, 277 hitter, OPS of 811.
Certainly increased that during this game as there's another check over to first base.
And more disengagements here for Fairfield. They really want to check the runner. I don't know if they know the signs, because Coleman has only stolen 2 bags and only attempted to.
Not sure why I confused him for Hansen, but maybe Fairfield is too with how much they're checking on him. The catcher only has 2 stolen bases on the year.
You know, sometimes it's a compliment, I'd say, when a pitcher throws over at first for you, because no matter if you're fast or slow, they're scared of you, is what they're saying to you right then. So if I was Colvin, I'd take that as incentive.
Another check over to Colvin. He dives in safely again.
I've not seen this many disengagements or throwers in a game of baseball, to my recollection.
Mark Willie standing with a 1-2 count. That fire from Kell above the shoulders evens it up at 2-2.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all.
Colvin shuffling off of first. Mark Willie at the plate with a 2-2 count, takes that one inside. 3-2 for Willie.
Good job for the Minuteman, working more 3-2 counts. More pitches you see from the pitcher, the more chance you see a one you like. Keep fouling them off and get to the one you want to drive. Warning, it seems, has been given to Kell for not making eye contact with the batter.
So we'll get some discussion here, it seems, between the umpires.
Potentially a balk situation.
I believe if Willie wasn't in the box on time, it could be counted as a strike against him. So that could be a
Interesting.
strikeout,
Really?
but a warning here.
But the warning was given to Kell, because I believe Willie was in the strike zone. I think he was pointing to his eyes or not looking at the batter.
Engaging the hitter.
Engaging the
maybe is what
hitter.
It is. That discussion between the umpires still going on. Fairfield is the dugout that called for this discussion. So
And this would be an important strike, because if the strike was called, that would put Willie down on strikes and 2 outs in the inning when UMass needs much needed insurance.
as now the home plate umpire going to relay the results of that conversation to the Fairfield dugout. Impossible to hear any of it over the music here.
It seems the discussions are pretty civil, but it looks like Fairfield's manager is a little angry at the umpire for not seeing that engagement.
Maybe the discussion is that Cal wasn't engaged with the hitter, but Willie wasn't in the box yet, so there was no hitter to engage. Bit of confusion there between both sides, but we'll do it again here with the 3-2 count. The UMass dugout getting fired up right here as Mark Willie steps in again with 1 out. Colvin takes off from first. Willie strikes that one towards left field, and it'll fall foul for the UMass first baseman. Keeps fighting, and the 3-2 count will do it again.
Tell you what, that would have been a great hit and run, because if that got down in left field and with Colvin running, could have been another run for the Minutemen, as he was going to pass second as the ball lands. So let's see if they do it again here, 3-2 with 1 out.
Mark Willie and Kevin Kell battling right now. Kell, the delivery on the 3-2, spiked in front of the plate. That one trailing down the third baseline will be picked up foul again by Kell. Home plate umpire had a clear view of it.
Matt Reynolds, third base coach and head coach, thought that one should have been in bounds, as it was on the line and looked like he was going to come in bounds, but Kell was able to push it out of bounds.
Yeah, close there on the play. Ferreira dove in front of the ball, so maybe an obstructed view there for Reynolds off of third base. I believe it was the correct call to call that one foul as Kell scooped it up. So we'll do the full count again on Willie. Pick off to Colvin. Close play. He's safe.
And I believe that's the 5th or 6th disengagement, Tim, here in this game. Kell really worried about a man who's only stolen 2 bases this season, but obviously the hit and run there that almost happened, he was running.
The delivery from Kell on the full count, roped into right field, but pulled too hard and foul for Mark Willie. really put his all into that one.
I tell you, that looked almost identical to his third inning home run blast as it was was pulled to right field. But good hard hitting from this UMass first baseman.
The battle continues between Willie and Kell. Colvin takes off, swing and a miss by Willie. The throw down to second, can't get him. And that's the third stolen bag of the year for Colvin, but Mark Willie set down on strikes after a strong battle in that at-bat.
That's right. It seemed like another hit and run opportunity, but Colvin, I guess Kell had the right idea to keep disengaging and checking him, because Colvin stole another bag. That's his third on the fourth, I believe his fourth on the season. And now runners in scoring position.
Now out there trying to argue a potential batter's interference again.
The umpire's not hearing it from the Fairfield dugout.
Now, obviously, that play bit the Stags before in this game. Can't get the call to fall in their favor there. Now it'll be Reese McCarthy at the dish for UMass. With Colvin leading off the second, he takes ball one there from Kell with two down here in the bottom of the seventh. Kell checking on Colvin at second. Now he'll fire the curveball, sneaks back into the zone there. Evens the count up at 1-1.
That's right. And Kell has this nasty movement on his curveball, about 20 miles per hour of separation, I'm sure.
Kell the fire on the 1-1, high and outside for ball two.
Again, runners in scoring position now for the Minutemen with Colvin on second. Hit to the outfield, especially to right or left field. There's a big gap in the corners.
The 2-1 to the DH McCarthy. That one in there for strike two. McCarthy had a half-check swing, thought about it, but was going to be late on that fastball.
He definitely was going to be, swing or not. It was a good pitch by Kell.
Easing up the count at 2-2. Twos across the board here. Colvin still leading off a second. That one dives below the zone for Kell in a great spot as he flexes his glove a little bit in slight frustration that he didn't get the call. So full count on Reese McCarthy. Second and two at bats for Kell. He fires there. That one's swing and a miss. Swing and a foul tip, and it knocks off the mask of the umpire. We'll get a short break there, sure.
Umpire seems unfazed though. And that shows that he's a man of steel.
That is honestly amazing to me, Alex, how you can just take a hit to the head like that.
Did not even move. Literally just looked down, picked up his hat, dusted it off a bit, put it back on, put his mask on, back to work. That's a sign of a true professional.
So again, we'll do the 3-2 to McCarthy. Kell fires, and that one whoops away from him. Ball four to Reese McCarthy, and runners on first and second for UMass. As we'll see Gavin O'Brien at the dish now, taking Sam Hill's place defensively in that seventh inning.
Gavin O'Brien, usually the left fielder for the Minutemen, batting .282.
As we'll get a break here. Kevin Kell took his glove off behind the bump, and seemingly some frustration from him. Potentially an injury here, something you never want to see.
Potential maybe anger at a play. No one's kneeling, but I think he has hurt his shoulder.
He's going to have to come out of the game here. So Kevin Kell works through 2 outs here in the bottom of the seventh.
Looks like there'll be a new pitcher. Everyone in their Lord and is hushed as Kell, not something you want to see as a baseball fan. You want to beat them at their best. And Kell obviously wanted to finish off that inning, but with the cold weather, strain on the muscles. And now it looks like Fairfield has to improvise here in the bottom of the 7th inning at Earl Field, Fairfield, Massachusetts.
So a pitching change for the Stags as Kevin Kell exits with an injury. Will come back when they've got a Reading pitcher on the bump here on 91.1 WMUA, home port for Minuteman Sports.
Now batting,
Coming
number
back now
16,
in the
Gavin
bottom of the
O'Brien.
7th between UMass and Fairfield. Kevin Kell exiting the mound after suffering an injury, seemingly to his throwing arm. Now taking the bump for Fairfield is Jack Sheldon, the freshman out of Simsbury, Connecticut. He's got a 5.59 ERA on the season. As with 2 down, he will deal with UMass hitter Gavin O'Brien, his first at-bat of the game after taking over for Sam Hill in left field. The Minutemen with runners on first and second here. Colbin, after stealing a bag, is in scoring position, and then Reese McCarthy is over at first. The 1-0 is skied into right field by O'Brien. Tracking it and almost dropping it there was Buchero, but he'll put it away to end the inning as UMass leads 8-5
For the Minutemen.
with
At the bottom
just
of
6
the 7th.
more outs to
No
go
runs, no hits, no errors, and one
until
run left on base.
the end of the game.
So an unfortunate ending for that inning, as it seemed to be a mix of momentum for the Minutemen after getting another run on base, another person on base, but unfortunately could not change it. So Fairfield now has a great opportunity to get even more back in this game. Top 8, you got 6 more outs to put some more runs on the board. So it might be a closer one than we think, Tim.
Fairfield put up 4 runs their last time out on offense. Still trying to claw back here, down 8-5, heading into the 8th. And we're back here at Earl Warden Field for the top of the 8th between UMass and Fairfield. The Minutemen leading 8-5 as the Stags step up to the plate. Nick Storino going to lead off for the visitors as he already has a solo home run in this game, trying to get it started here in what the Stags hope would be a comeback in these late innings. Taking the mound for UMass is Bobby McDonough as a line out to left field starts off the inning for him. And a hard hit there.
O'Brien made quick work of that fly ball as McDonough gets the first out of the 8th inning. And UMass, a good start as they need every out they can get here to get closer to that, cutting their 6-game losing streak to nothing.
Now TJ Schmalzel up at the dish. He squares the bunt and couldn't pull back in time. Knocks that one foul. Almost perfectly followed the ball with the bat backwards.
Almost looked like that ball hit him. It hit lower on the back because that was an inside pitch that Schmalzel tried to bunt down. But 0-1 the count. The strike either way, Tim.
0-1 to the center fielder for Fairfield. As McDonough delivers outside there.
McDonough on the year, 9.33 ERA, 1.85 whips, pitched through 18 1/3 innings now with 19 earned runs throughout.
So that one's grounded to shortstop, picked up and spiked into the dirt. Mark Willie chases after it and recovers it. Jack Peters unable to make the play there for the Minutemen.
And Schmazel really ran down the line well. I don't think even if Peters was able to field that cleanly and throw a line drive, he would have had it in time, as Schmazel was well ahead of that throw. And now runners on in the top of the 8th with 1 out. One more person gets on base, and they'll have a tying run from the plate.
Peters spiked that one into the dirt as
Batting number 5, Nolan Colby.
we've a foul tip there for strike one for Nolan Colby.
Colby 0 for 1 with a fly out, with a pop out, and 2 walks.
McDonough the fire on the 0-1 just outside. He ends up the count at 1-1.
Look at the score thus far. It's 8-5 here in the top of the 8th. 13-4 hits to UMass.
The 1-1 from McDonough falls low for ball 2.
It seemed at the beginning of this game, Tim, that UMass had taken every category in terms of hitting and fielding.
McDonough misses again.
And now it seems that UMass has kind of let Fairfield back into this game. Only 3
Colby
runs
working
separated.
his way back into this count after the 0-1 has seen 3 straight balls. McDonough the fire. That one misses again. 4 straight balls from Bobby McDonough puts runners on first and second here.
The tying run comes to the plate, that being in the
Now
form
batting
of
number
Kusick.
14, J.P. Cusick.
Cusick coming up for his second at bat after replacing Billy Sullivan.
Kusick has only hit 1 home run this year in 72 at-bats. A home run here would mean a tie game in this game, so he might be swinging for those fences.
1 out here in the top of the 8th as McDonough delivers strike 1 on Cusick.
Kusick flew out, sack fly his last time up for another run into Fairfield's comeback here today.
McDonough, that one gets behind to the backstop. Both runners will move up for Fairfield. And now the potential double play is taken away for UMass, with no one on first base.
Now it's a tough assignment now. Now a single score is 2 puts Fairfield within 1. McDonough losing the control of the zone a bit. That is the same thing.
McDonough, the 1-1, fired into right field. 1 run comes around, the second runner being held up for Fairfield as an RBI single from Cusick makes it a 2-run game.
Great piece. Greatest good hitting from Kusick. Went the opposite way, cut between Sullivan and Mark, between Sullivan and Willie at first base, and puts another run on the board for Fairfield as UMass
Now
has
batting
lost
23,
a little bit more of their lead.
Dean
Now only 2 runs up.
Well, the bullpen has commonly meant trouble for UMass throughout this year, as that one struck into center field. Anthony Tirado makes a catch on the line drive, tagging up from third and scoring there to make it a 1-run game is Fairfield, as Nolan Colby comes in to score on the line drive to center.
Anthony Tirado gave it his best shot from center field. He caught the ball, the line drive, and went full crow hop throw all the way down the home, but was a second late. And now Fairfield within one of UMass's 8. It's 8-7 here in the top of the 8th, 2 outs.
So the Stags have inched their way back since the beginning of this game and now are in their biggest spot so far.
And now Nomura up now and made good contact on that foul ball. Fairfield starting to feel what UMass felt in these first 3 innings, making hard contact with the ball and getting it in play.
And we should mention it was Dean Ferreira with that sac fly as the 0-1 is into right field for Nomura. Going over to third is the base runner Cusick, and it's men on the corners for the Fairfield Stags.
Another piece of Oppo hitting for the Stags, as it was a line drive Oppo hit that was fielded cleanly by Hansen, but Cusick was able to advance to third given that it was on the opposite side of the field. And now runners on the corners for Fairfield, only down 1.
So after trailing 8-1 in this game, the Stags are a single away from tying it with Cusick on third base and the go-ahead run on first with Nomura. McDonough on the 0-1 skips that one, and a good block there by Colvin. Any pass ball right now could tie this game.
And that's something that UMass has struggled with in the past, is the pass ball and the wild pitch. And it's not something you want to struggle with right now, because you want them to earn the runs.
McDonough, the 1-1, struck into right field. Carter Hansen gets under it and puts it away to end the top of the 8th inning as Fairfield scores 2 and puts themselves down 8-7.
That's right, a great inning for Fairfield. They're continually compounding runs in multiple innings, 4 in the 7th and now 2 in the 8th. And now within one of UMass's 8. If UMass wants to make this game a bit more comfortable in their hands, they're going to have to score some insurance in the bottom of the 8th, Tim.
So this is the closest it's been, Alex, since 0-0 in the first inning. UMass opened it up with that 3-run shot from Sam Hill, skyrocketed ahead 8-1 by the end of the 4th. And now Fairfield has found their way back into it, 8-7 when we come back in the bottom of the 8th. UMass bats are coming back to see if they can add to this lead again. And we're back here in the bottom of the 8th inning as UMass leads 8-7 after a 2-run 8th from Fairfield. Jack Peters, the 9-hitter, leading off for the Minutemen as he'll take ball 1 there. Still on the bump for Fairfield is Jack Sheldon. The freshman was the 13th ranked prospect in all of Connecticut last season.
And pitched a good, got out of a jam last inning. Pitched only a 3rd inning, but runners on 1st and 2nd was able to get out of that inning, and now Fairfield able to give him more of a chance.
As Peters strikes that one high toward the left center field gap, coming over for it is Schmozel, and he will put it away for out one
Now batting
in the bottom of the eighth here.
fielder, number 7, Anthony Tirado.
Back to the top of the order for UMass with Anthony Tirado.
Tirado got a single as his first at bat. So if I know law of averages, he was 0 for 3 till then. He's going to hit. He's going to start hitting a little bit more after getting that.
Fifth at bat for the UMass leadoff hitter as he takes ball one there from Sheldon. Sheldon spikes that one close between skipping in front of Tirado, but it did hit his foot. And he'll head over to first. Very easy jog over there for him. Luckily, maybe hit him on the sole of the shoe there instead of the actual toe.
That's right. Luckily, I think it hit the ground before it hit him. It did look like a fastball, but it looked like he walked it off. Tirado did well, and now the fastest UMass Minutemen on the bases right now for Braden Sullivan, one of the best hitters for UMass.
Braden Sullivan on the day is 1 for 4 with a run as he'll take ball one outside there in the other's batter's box for Sheldon.
If you look at this game, Tim, UMass 13 for 33, Fairfield 5 for 26. They're hitting better, but it's all about the walks. Fairfield 9 to UMass's 3 kept them in the game.
Check over to Tirado off first base. He's safe in there with a dive.
This has not been a strikeout game, Tim. Only 5 for Fairfield and 3 for UMass. All the balls have been put in play.
The 1-0 to Sullivan. Can't find the lower outside corner of the zone there. 2-0 for the UMass second baseman.
If I was Reynolds, I might be sending Tirado here soon. If you want that insurance one out, might be a good chance to throw him over in an option.
2-0 on Sullivan. Sheldon, the fire, finds the strike zone there. So now 2-1 with one down here in the bottom of the eighth. Anthony Tirado still off first base. 13 stolen bags on the year for the center fielder, as they'll check on him again. Much to the disapproval of the sound crew here at Earl Gordon Field.
Fairfield, if anything they've done today is check on the runners, as the pitchers have been disengaging more and more often.
Fire from Sheldon. The 2-1 is low again. Full hitters count here for Sullivan.
And Sullivan has an OBP of 408. If the ball is not in the zone, I do not think he'll swing, but being a hitter's count, might need to.
Fire from Sheldon. That one split off the inside part of the bat over to the second baseman, and he'll make out number 2 in the inning. Nolan Colby tracking that slow ground ball and firing over to Meth as Tirado moves up to second base on that one.
Number 11, Jack Beverly.
So in scoring position is Anthony Tirado as Jack Beverly comes up, had an RBI double earlier in this game, and is looking to deliver in a big spot here for the Minutemen.
Obviously, UMass's most powerful hitter this season with 6 home runs. He can provide any additional insurance.
He gets ahead there, taking ball one low. As the shadows start to creep in here late at Earl Gordon Field. Sheldon on the 1-0. Finds the outside part of the zone with the off speed there. And a tough pitch.
Tough pitch. Did not know if that clipped the end of the strike zone. Looked both high and outside, but umpire's discretion here at Earl Gordon Field.
Now on the 1-1, that one skips behind to the backstop as Dorado will move up to third base. So 90 feet away is another insurance run for the Minutemen as they lead 8-7 here in the bottom of the 8th. Makes it a 2-1 count on Beverly now with 2 down here.
You feel that normal depth. Dorado, no chance for a sac fly, but single will definitely score one.
2-1 from Sheldon up high, and getting out of the way was Beverly. 3-1 again. Second time in 2 bats. They've reached the ultimate hitters count here. That one paints the outside of the zone for a strike from Sheldon. And that runs it full.
And Sheldon worked back into this count. He's worked out his struggles before last inning, got out of a tough position with a man in scoring position. Will he do the same here?
So a full count for Beverly. The fire from Sheldon lined into center field. Going back is Schmalzel, and he'll make the catch to put it away. Fairfield gets out of the jam again and leaves themselves trailing by just 1 heading into their final at-bats.
And UMass not being able to get that insurance they needed and putting more runs aboard as Fairfield, if you look at their progression, in the 7th they scored 4, in the 8th they scored 2. It looks like that way they could score more. So UMass got to play the best defense of their life, the best pitching of their life to end their 6-game losing streak here at Earl Orton Field.
And taking the bump for the Minutemen will be Mikey Jensen as he looks to close the game for UMass on the heels of a 6-game losing streak, ahead 8-7 going into the 9th inning. We are down to the wire here at Earl Warden Field between UMass and Fairfield. The Minutemen lead 8-7 in the top of the 9th as Mikey Jensen has a save opportunity in his hands with UMass on the heels of a 6-game losing streak, trying to snap it right here against the Fairfield Stags. Digging in is Tyler Kipp, the DH, and he'll take ball 1 here to start off the 9th.
This is when the nerves start kicking in if you're the Minutemen. Obviously, you know the implications, 6-game losing streak, how important it is for them to win.
That one is fired outside for Jensen. 2-0 quickly on Kipp.
Now it's important just to go batter by batter, work through it. Obviously, you know Fairfield scored multiple runs in last 2 innings. It's all about not letting that happen in this one.
That one fouled back by the Fairfield DH. First strike of the outing for Jensen.
So I'll tell you, Tim, with my feet are getting a bit chilly, I don't think I'd be able to make it to that one. I think I go halfway through and then one of my toes would fall off.
2-1 misses outside, and yeah, Alex, that one was a far way back. But now deeply ahead in the count is Tyler Kipp. That's the 3-1 from Jensen, fired outside, and Kipp's on base to start off the ninth for Fairfield.
Unfortunately for the Minuteman, that puts the leading, the not the tying run, but the leading run at the plate now for Fairfield. And obviously it's been a common theme today that UMass has put runners on base put runners on base early in innings, and have gotten out of it usually, but unlikely in recent innings they have not done so.
So now Sean Meth at the plate for Fairfield as he'll take strike one there from Jensen. Kipp leading off of first was replaced by Jack Byrne, a Natick, Mass native. He was a top 10 ranked outfielder in all of Massachusetts, and he sees a pickoff attempt there, diving back into first. So the freshman maybe some fresher legs than the DH would have, as that one is fouled away. Willie giving chase, and that one drops in the bullpen area of Fairfield's dugout.
It was a pop fly that had potential for Willie to get to, but fell just before the wall. Willie's glove outstretched, trying to get it. But 0-2 count now here on Meth, and a chance to put one away here in the bottom of the ninth inning, top of the ninth. My bad.
So 2 strikes to start off the at bat for Jensen. Throws it to Meth outside for ball one. A look over to first from Colvin. It gives it back to the pitcher here. Jensen sets a 1-2 from him. Fouled off towards right field again. Right back to the 1-2 count.
Yeah. Meth working a good at-bat here, obviously staying alive. 0-2. On the day, he has been 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a ground out in his last attempt in the 7th.
Fairfield 5-hitter battling hard in a 1-2 count as Jensen will fire over to first base. In safely is Byrne. Jensen the fire on the 1-2. Can't find the outside part of the zone. Evens up the count at 2-2 for Meth.
2-2 count now here. Jensen can work something outside, but working into a 3-2 has not been good for UMass pitchers so far in this game.
The 2-2 from Jensen outside again, and that runs it full for Sean Meth as he represents the go-ahead run.
The go-ahead run. This is important at-bat for Jensen.
As a throwback to first. Byrne staying aware there. Jensen very attentively trying to make the most of any mistake over there at first base. With the critical situation, the 3-2 fouled away by Meth again. That one's out of play.
Oh, you come into this at-bat, you think you got him down 0-2 after Jensen, but then Meth works into a 3-2 count. You've wasted a bunch of your pitches now. We're looking for something to close it out, but not a lot of strikeouts for either team. Likely this one will go in play.
Full count to Meth again, and he'll take that one low. Fairfield with runners on first and second now, as they threaten again with UMass leading by just 1. Mikey Jensen takes a break here to tie his shoe.
Coming up now is Nick Storino. one of the
Now batting, number 6, Nick
owner of one of
Storino.
the only home runs for Fairfield today. Hit his in the 4th. It was a solo shot, and now not a home run needed, as the go-ahead run is on first, tying run is on second. A single will score 1 and tie the game.
Storino's strike was to deep right center field for that home run. The lefty batter going up against the righty Jensen squares the bunt, knocks it down the third base line. The play from Beverly over to first, an incredible bare hand play, but can't make the throw in time. And a bunt single from Storino loads the bags.
That was pitch perfect. It all forms the word as the punt goes, as that was put perfectly down the third base line. Looked like it was not going to go. The third baseman Beverly thought it was going to go foul, waited a second too long when picked it up and did not get it in time. So now bases are loaded with no outs, and in the top of the 9th now, UMass is going to make a change.
Matt Reynolds coming out to the bump right now with the bags loaded. At least going to have a conversation with Mikey Jensen. There is someone up in the UMass bullpen.
But still in the opening progressions of a warm-up. So I don't think he could come in unless they make this meeting very long, and it doesn't look that way. Mikey Jensen will stay in.
And the batter will be TJ Schmalzel, who is 1 of 4 on the day with a double, but also a strikeout, has scored a pair of runs after, I believe, reaching on an error. He'll dig in now with the bases loaded. Jensen will take him on with no outs here in the top of the 9th. Jensen finds the zone to start off the at-bat.
Good strike to start. As a pitcher, when you've been going down in counts recently, feeling that momentum is important.
Jensen tried to hit that same spot with the second pitch, but couldn't find it. 1-1 now on Schmalzel. The 1-1 hits the high part of the zone for strike 2. Mikey Jensen looks to have settled in now after loading the bags. Storino on first, Meth on second, and Byrne on third. As Jensen delivers the 1-2, skips in front of the plate, taking off his Byrne for the plate. Colvin couldn't pick it up, and that'll tie the game. As Jack Byrne, the Massachusetts native, plays heartbreaker a little bit right now for UMass, ties us up at 8-8 as Meth and Storino both move up a bag. So runners on second and third here with no outs for Fairfield in the top of the 9th.
Another wild pitch for the Minutemen.
As that one's popped up into foul play. Looks to be unplayable for Willie. As that'll keep the count at 2-2 for Schmalzel.
Fairfield, an incredible comeback to get back into this game, down 8-1, but in the 7th, they scored 4, in the 8th, 2, and now in the 9th, the bases loaded, the wild pitch advances the runner home, and it's 8-8 here with potential of more.
Jensen on the 2-2 low for Schmalzel. It's now a full count. First base is open. For the Fairfield center fielder on the 3-2, he check swings and fouls that one back.
When I look at this game, Tim, I think the reason why Fairfield have gotten back into it is the walks. 11 walks has Fairfield compared to UMass's 3, getting on base in full board.
So that one's flown high into right field. Tagging at third is Meth, and he'll be in there easily for the go-ahead run for Fairfield in the 9th inning.
That's way to put the ball in play did Schmazel getting after a tough at-bat. Was able to put it into deep right field. Hansen was able to field it, but no chance at home. And now Fairfield coming all the way back and are up one in the top of the ninth with only one out and runner on third.
UMass down 9-8 now. Jensen working with one out
Now batting number 5, Nolan Colby.
as they have the infield in with Storino leading off at third base, trying to cut down the runner at the plate potentially if there were to be a ground ball. As that one's bunted, the third baseman Beverly coming over, flips to home and couldn't get the runner. Colbin did not receive the ball correctly, and Storino slides in to score.
And you don't see that often, a sacrifice squeeze here in the top of the ninth. And Fairfield completed it to perfection on the sac bunt. Beverly fielded, flipped with his glove to home plate. It looked like it could have been in time, but Colbin dropped it on the transition to tag Storino. And now Fairfield up 2 here. And it seems like the chances are slipping away for UMass.
After 6 innings of relative silence, the Stags have scored 9 runs in the final 3 frames here so far and continue to threaten with a runner on first and just 1 down here in the top of the ninth. As that one's grounded over to Peters at shortstop, and he can't handle it off the front of his glove. And everything is falling apart right now for the UMass defense as the Fairfield dugout goes ballistic with excitement throughout this comeback.
And this could have been a double play ball if the shortstop Peters could have fielded it cleanly. But no, not even a play at first as it is. It's now 2 on with 1 out. Runner in scoring position again.
So back to the top of the order for Fairfield as Ferreira digs in again, the third baseman, 0 of 2 on the day with a pair of walks. And strike 1 files in on him there. Again, runners on first and second. Cusick on first, Colby in scoring position as Jensen makes it 1-1 with a ball low.
Unfortunately on this day, it seems like wild pitches and errors have come back into play in this 9th inning for the Minutemen.
Jensen has that one roped into right field. Hansen grabs it. The runner from second tagging up is Colby. He'll move over to third. And now men on the corners with 2 down for the Stags with Nomura coming up.
And runners did tag, so now there'll be a runner at third and
Now
1 at
batting
first.
number 2, Luke
2 outs. And with Fairfield up 10, Jensen needs to put this away as still the pitcher in UMass's bullpen is not completely warmed up as of right now.
2 down for Jensen as he throws it outside to Nomura to start off this at bat. 1-0 on the shortstop. That one low for ball 2 as well.
Jensen's thrown 30 pitches in this inning, giving up 3 earned runs and 2 walks, and faced 7 batters.
That one outside again, 3 straight balls from Jensen. The 3-0 from Jensen, walks the batter and loads the bases again for Fairfield.
Still, Jensen's out. Nope. Here comes Matt Reynolds. Looks like that will be it for Jensen.
It's definitely a frustrating outing for Mikey Jensen there. Had the save opportunity and will receive a blown save here as Fairfield pulls ahead 10-8 in the top of the 9th. And UMass will look for an arm from the bullpen to limit the damage here with the bases loaded and 2 outs when we come back. And we're back here in the top of the 9th as Dylan Terwilliger takes the bump for UMass, trailing 10-8 now after Mikey Jensen allowed 3 runs to cross the plate to begin the 9th here. Now the bag's chock full with 2 down as Terwilliger delivers ball number 1 here to Buchera.
Terwilliger on the year, 9.58 ERA, a 2.61 WHIP. Gonna try to end this inning for the minimum of 2 outs.
Terwilliger, that sidearm release as Buchero fouls it away. Think you got the wheels for that, Alex?
I don't know about that one, Tim. Maybe in my younger years, I used to love the cold, but here at Earl Lorden Field, my feet have completely glued to the ground, not in a good way.
Terwilliger, the 1-1, fouled away again.
But I tell you, if it comes to us, Tim, I'm literally wearing gloves right now. I've took your advice, but not in the more literal sense. I'm wearing literal gloves right now to protect me from the cold. If it does come to me, a little bit more protection.
I believe in that safety, Alex, as we get a 1-2 for here from Terwilliger. That one's fouled out of play.
Terwilliger throwing more strikes consecutively than Jansen, so it is a positive because the more they challenge the batter, we're showing them the same pitches. It looks like we've been throwing more fastballs.
3 straight foul-offs from Buchero. The 1-2 on him. Terwilliger fires outside. A good stop there by Colvin again. Twos across the board for Terwilliger. Has that one swing and a miss, strike 3. And UMass,
For the Stags,
after giving up 3 runs in the top of the 9th, will head to the bottom, trailing for the 7th straight time hoping to make this one a win for the first time in 6 games.
That's right. Came out in the top of the ninth. Think they had it. 7-8 was the score, but then 3 runs scored. As a Minuteman, you have to deal with this and come back. Only down 2. Get runners on base. You got Hanson coming up. Hanson, Colvin, Willie. These are 2-3 of the most productive players for UMass today. Let's see if they can put some runs on the board and bring it back in this game for a walk-off. Tim.
UMass trails 8-10
Number 34.
with one last chance to end this homestand with a win. We'll see what the Bats can do when we come back. Coming into the bottom of the ninth now as UMass trails 10-8,
Number 10, Pointer.
trying to prevent themselves from slipping into a 7-game losing streak as Carter Hansen leads it off against Jack Fox, who will have the save opportunity for Fairfield. A grad student out of West Hartford, Connecticut, played at Endicott for the last 3 years. Pitches to a 4.50 ERA. He'll have a lot on his hands here with 3 of the hottest batters for UMass coming up. And he delivers ball 1 high and away. Unable to catch it back there was Cusick.
Hanson 2 for 3 on the day with double, a single, and a walk. He's looking.
As that one falls low, the Minutemen dugout into the game right now.
I mean, this is crunch time. This is the time for rally caps. Down 2, you need a chance. And Hanson's one of those guys who can.
As he pulls back the bunt right there, 3 straight balls from Fox to start his outing.
Now 3-0. A walk would be a big start in the right direction. And it looks like Fox has been a little wild.
As Hansen will take strike 1 there. Fox's 10th appearance of the season, as Hansen will swing and a miss to make it a full count right there.
10 innings pitched has Fox, given up 5 earned runs and 8 Ks, but also 8 walks. So we could. I have a feeling this will either end in a walk or a strikeout.
Well, 3-2 from Fox. That one's fouled away by Hansen. He stays alive.
Minutemen, all now is just get on base. Put yourself in an opportunity to get runners in scoring position, get the runs. It's 1 run after the other. You're down 2.
Hansen fouls it away again on the 3-2. Again, started off this at-bat with a 3-0, and Fox has climbed his way back in. Hansen, the hard-hitting right fielder for UMass on the 3-2, strikes that one to center field for a single. And the leadoff man on for UMass in the bottom of the ninth.
And way to combat does Hansen. That was a line drive, almost split the center fielder Schmalzi and Serino, but still getting on base, no outs yet. And now Coleman, who's hit a home run today, up to plate.
Incredible at bat from Carter Hansen, really working the pitch count until he got his pitch to hit and took it out to center field as Coleman will take ball one there outside from Fox.
And if you're UMass, this is it. If you want to finish on a win, if you want to build that momentum going into a big road stretch, it's all about getting the win here.
The 1-0 from Fox finds the high part of the zone. Coleman in a bit of disbelief. Evens up to count 1-1 on the UMass catcher. Is that one fouled back and out of play for strike two.
Into the tennis courts behind Earl Orden.
Sometimes a dangerous situation back there, but thankfully no one playing out today.
Yeah, it would hurt. I mean, getting hit today or getting hurt is more, it would hurt a bit more given the cold weather. But
Coleman 1-2, Hansen leads off of first. That one struck towards the gap. A catch by their shortstop, throw back to first. Off the bag was Meth, and what a catch by Nomura on the soft line drive towards center field. For UMass, they thankfully had Hansen with enough awareness to dive back into first there and not get doubled up.
it did seem that Carter Hansen thought the ball would split the infielders and go to the outfield, so he was caught unawares. If the ball was on target from Nomura, it would be a double play cutoff. But now Willie Up, who's hit a home run today, can tie the game here with one swing of the bat.
Mark Willie, the hard-hitting first baseman for UMass, takes ball one there inside. As with one down, and Hansen leading off of first base for the Minutemen. 3 stolen bags on the year for the right fielder. As Willie flies that one towards left field, ranging over for it is Storino, and he'll have it for out number 2. Getting back in is Hansen again after he took an aggressive jump off the bag on that high fly ball. But now 2 down for the Minutemen, and Reese McCarthy is seemingly the last hope.
And this is it. I mean, kill or be killed is this moment. Getting on base. It looks like Fairfield has settled in here in the 9th inning. Fox has gotten these 2 outs he's needed. But if you're the Minutemen, this is what it comes down to. Do you become hunted or become the hunter?
Jack Fox looking to cement a 7-run comeback for Fairfield. Delivers ball 1 there to Reese McCarthy. McCarthy squares to bunt and takes a strike there.
Ferreira was fielding a little deep in his position, so if he could have gotten it down, he might have made it, but
Definitely an interesting call either way, Alex. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th, and UMass down 10-8. McCarthy takes inside for ball 2 there from Fox.
McCarthy on the day. He singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th, and walked in the 7th.
2-1 from Fox, fouled away by McCarthy, and that evens up the count.
Well, what's happening right now, Tim? It's deuces wild. If there's any auspiciousness in this game, would come on this pitch.
Fox, the 2-2 to McCarthy, fouled away again.
UMass batters have made Fox work a bit. This will be his 15th pitch tonight in one inning. Well, we'll do it again.
Fox, the 2-2 again to McCarthy. Fouled away for the third straight time. The UMass DH does not want to stop fighting.
Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all.
UMass dugout calling in McCarthy's favor. 2-2 from Fox. Files in there for strike number 3. A backwards K to end the game for Fairfield as they complete the 8-1 comeback, and UMass loses their 7th straight.
Yeah, called strike 3 is not the way you want the game to end, as UMass started this game so strong. Going through the first 3 innings, they had scored 6. Through the 4th, they had scored 8, and 8 is the score that the amount of runs they could score in this game. And it looked like UMass had taken care of this game against Fairfield, but Fairfield showing why they're number 1 in the NAAC, giving a great fight. That'll put them to 23 and I believe it's 23 and 8. And now UMass has some thinking to do. Now that's their 7th loss in the row. What's working, what isn't? I think some things have been outlined here, Finn, as problematic for the Minutemen.
Well, Alex, a road trip coming up for the Minutemen as they go down to Virginia to play the Richmond Spiders. Another A-10 matchup. We'll see if they can break their losing streak here, but Fairfield gets back on the right track after a 10-game winning streak for them was interrupted by a 20-2 loss against Sacred Heart. Back in the win column go the Stags, and the Minutemen seem to just keep falling.
It's true, and I think it comes down to composure in late inning situations. Through the first, they had seemed like they had all the momentum and lost it throughout, and I think that can be compounded to a mix of walks, wild pitches, errors, things that are unnecessary runs that lead to runs, getting on bases, putting themselves into better positions to lose the game. And unfortunately, it did happen this way, and Minutemen has to deal with it and come back fighting when they come back to Earl Lorden Field, hopefully in a couple weeks when we call it next. It's unfortunate.
UMass allows 9 runs in the final 3 innings to lose their 7th straight game in this homestand after winning their first 2. Could not find another win afterwards. Once again, I have been Timothy Brown here with Alex Poliak, and we'll see you again when the Minutemen come back home after their road trip.